Yes.
Awesome.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Indiepocalypse Radio. Back again with our pre-PAX event, which is completely unrelated. I thought occasionally I was like, oh, maybe I should. I very occasionally will prep it by trying to find people who are at the event, but I forgot to do that this time. Also, really, it seems to be a lot of the same people, which is a nice thing for events. That's kind of what. Anyway, that all out of the way. This is Indiepocalypse Radio. It's halfway between a kind of post-convention hangout and a talk show, leaning way more on the hangout side. We're here with guests throughout the world of art and Indiepocalypse. Most of the time, Indiepocalypse, because those are the people who have contacts for me, and those are the people's emails I have at the ready. We are here with our first guest. Oh, my name is Andrew, by the way. I organize Indiepocalypse and all that stuff around it, the long-running anthology of alternative independent video games and tabletop games as well on occasion. We are here with our first guest, who you may know from the fresh off the presses, merely 2 weeks old Indiepocalypse 74 with Margot. It's Greta. Greta, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I am doing good.
Good.
We've got a lot of, very rarely do we have questions. We have a lot of questions here today. I will probably try. I'm saying that to myself, so I remember to sprinkle them in throughout the things instead of just like blasting them all at once.
Yeah.
Actually, 4 of them are extremely. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm down for questions.
Yes, 4 of them are extremely related. So I think I technically have 2 questions, which still puts it 200% higher than most shows. But I have an Indiepocalypse question off the top of the show that I ask of all guests, and with a slightly modified version for yourself, which is, hey, when I emailed you, did you have any clue what Indiepocalypse was?
No. Unfortunately.
No, that's part of a good thing for me, and also part of, that question that I ask of people, which is people submit, hey, how did you find it? Because I need to know, well, how do I get more people to find it?
Mm-hmm.
And part of it lately,
email them.
Yes, is emailing people.
Yeah.
Because I've been this year, I've been starting to put my thumb on the scale a lot more, so to speak. Of just like, I have a commission game every month, but I also want to email more people. So I'm aiming for like a good 2 or 3 that I, hand invited to an issue each month as well. Just because, there's a lot of people making games, and it is dependent on them finding this random thing on the internet,
Yeah. I feel like when there's like a personal like connection, like you're like reaching out, I feel like that's like so much more like effective.
Yes.
Like it's so human. It's just like, hey, what's up?
Right.
You
like, it is the thing, because my emails are mildly formish in that I have, a lot of work to do, so I have templates that I save and send to everyone, but I do play through all of them, and those are just handy time savers for me. But I dig through, because I have a playlist of games on itch that is cresting on like 10,000. It's very big. I'd have to check. It's an exceptionally large.
Yeah, I can imagine.
11,566 games on that list.
Holy.
So I will every month. I'm like, click on my mouse wheel, let it scroll down, leave, go do something else till it hits the bottom. Then scroll through and like, what's grabbing me, or what have I seen constantly? And I'm like, man, I really need to like dip into this,
Mm-hmm.
And Margot was one of those games, 3 months ago or so.
Wow. Yay.
And I got it for people who aren't familiar. How would you describe Margot?
I would describe Margot as just sort of like a point and click. It kind of like it's very point and click, I feel like.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like, it's sort of like a lot of people say that it reminds them of like, like 2000s, like flash game, point and
Yeah.
click kind of thing. But it's really bright color wise. It's got a bright palette, and yeah.
Yeah, I think I wonder how much of that comes from like as the sort of I think there's a time period where the commercial adventure game was kind of going out of style.
Yeah. Well, I don't actually know. I was like a kid. I was a kiddo
Yeah.
during this time, and like, but I loved flash games. But I'm still sort of like learning kind of the history of things, like piecing things together. Now that I'm older, and like I've been playing King's Quest,
Yeah. Okay.
and
Yeah.
so I'm starting there, and then I'm kind of like trying to sort of work my way up in terms of time, like.
Right.
So, yeah, so I can't speak on much of the history stuff, but
Yeah. I am neither. I am also not a infallible historian on the subject.
yeah,
But
some people are like
yes,
them.
no, I love it. I love that there is like more because I think a lot about how games don't have as concrete of like a history. It feels like compared to if you want to get into other mediums, like books,
Uh-huh.
film, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
I feel like there is like a lot
yeah,
more people want to tell you exactly how things line up. um,
yeah,
but games have like a less strictly acknowledged canon. It feels like as a medium has a generally shorter memory for things.
yeah. That's very true.
And that's also part of the like the effort to get to invite people to like sometimes it's a game they made like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah,
and,
like Margot was,
right,
I think, 3 years ago,
and you're not
or no, 4. Yeah,
yeah, I guess like, we have to
coming on
get
4
drilled down to them actually. It was 4 years ago, but a mere like couple weeks ago.
for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Um,
Yeah, I find that. Well, I guess this is like in a lot of media is like lasting really like, and I think it's an interesting thing. Um, like with game dev, I feel like it's like you're saying, like people sort of stumble upon things all the time. Like,
yeah.
whereas I do feel with music, like, because I used to do music, sort of, and I feel like stuff gets buried a lot easier in music because there's a lot more of it.
Right. Right.
Um,
And it's the weirdness of like there's people are paying a lot more attention to like a wider amount of it.
yeah,
So I think with games it can sometimes be like, oh, well, everything is buried under AAA, whatever is big at the moment, but underneath it, there's a lot of stuff that is unexplored. Whereas maybe with music, people are also covering like more niche stuff, so it's easy to feel even more buried.
mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah,
if you work in a niche, there's still a possibility that someone else is also already covering that niche.
yeah.
Uh,
That's interesting.
so
Yeah, and there's just so much. Like it's a much.
yeah,
I feel like it's a faster medium. Like it goes
yes.
by faster.
Oh yes, because there is I try to keep up with like Bandcamp Daily stuff, which is what like and that just on Bandcamp
Yeah.
Daily they're putting out they're covering like 6 albums a day pretty much,
Yeah.
which is a lot of music to keep track of.
Yeah.
And that
It's
is
definitely, well, it's like something that's like uh I guess sort of objectively easier to do too. So that's
right.
why it's faster.
Yes, yeah, games
Not
often
to
also
like
have music in them.
Yeah, that's yeah. You have to make an album when you make a game.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's like, I mean, you know, all art forms, people, there's going to be people who work at whatever pace they make, but there is, you know, some things that are just like, you just got to make one of the thing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you just gotta make the thing. Yeah,
And
doesn't matter
especially,
what it is.
and music especially, I think, like the difference, you know, if you're just looking at, or I guess in this, you know, in this case, just listening to, you know, something a person makes in their spare time versus like a big studio production, the difference is less noticeable than, you know, you would see in a game, you know.
Um,
Perhaps.
sorry, sorry. Wait, what was the beginning of that? Okay, this is
Uh,
something with me. This is why I'm not really good at stuff like this, but
no,
sometimes I just like forget to listen to the first thing that someone
that,
says,
you
and
know
then
what?
I'll
We're
snap
not.
into it
This
mid
show is not
sentence.
worried about being good at anything. This show just. I was saying that, like, if someone spends a ton, like, you know, let's say someone spends $100 million on a game, it's
Yeah.
more noticeable than someone spending $100 million on an album when you compare it to the version where somebody spent no money on it.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
obviously, you know, you can tell like production quality to some degree, you know, in music, but it's not like,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah. That is true. It's like a very um like mysterious thing, like music. You don't really see it, you
right,
know. You just hear it. It just like is
right.
air going in your ear holes.
And you can kind of tell maybe if someone has like a bad mic setup, you know, or has like bad recording equipment, but not in the same way of
Yeah.
like, you know, a hyper realistic, gigantic video game world versus someone's
Hmm.
small, like
Yeah.
hand drawn game. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot easier to see the budget disparity.
Yeah, cuz well half the time like in music like they're trying to sound like they have shitty
Right,
equipment.
right. Exactly. And sometimes
Yeah.
lo-fi is charming.
Yeah, you don't see AAA studios doing that much of that though. With
No, no.
all of a sudden they're gonna release a 2D point and click.
Right,
It
right.
could
No,
have
they're
costed millions.
yeah, they've are like very risk averse. They're definitely more like film in that way, you know, where
Mm.
their aspiration of being, oh, let's be like film, whichever whatever that means, you know.
Games?
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
they compare themselves to that constantly, and you know, a little too obsessed with that idea, whatever that means, you know.
Uh-huh. Being
Which
cinematic.
you're right, right, or like the inferiority complex of games aren't a real medium or something.
Right.
Um,
What is that? Is that a thing?
I think that
People
I
say
feel
that?
like people still cling to there are some people still, it feels like an age thing where like
Mm.
people are still yelling at Ebert's Ghost for saying video games aren't art or something.
Okay.
Um, but I have a series of questions for you from
Yeah.
Esh. They're all going to be the same the same basic question, four questions, all the same question, but I'll say different variables for each question. We're wondering about if you could be an animal of a certain color, and those
Oh,
animals you can answer. I would say as
my
many.
persona?
No, no. I mean, I guess it could be, but the specific animals they asked for were fish, bird, horse, and cat. And like I said, you can answer as many as you have an answer for.
Fish, bird, horse, and cat. I have to pick
Yes.
one.
No, no, no.
And then
They said four questions, all asking if you were, for instance, a horse, what color would you be? And then ask that
oh,
question three other times for those
okay.
three additional animals.
Okay. I think purple horse. That's the first color that came to my mind.
Perfect.
What was bird? What was
Bird.
bird? Blue
Yes.
bird.
Yes.
Uh, yellow fish.
Okay.
And What was the other one?
Cat.
Oh, green cat.
Perfect. I've logged the answers. We'll see at the end of the show if those were the correct answers.
Okay.
And I have a second question. Speak adventure game adjacent stuff. I'm like, is this an adventure game? I think it is arguably a kind of adventure game. Yeah. Greta, have you played Disco Elysium?
No.
Okay. Well, this
I really haven't played that many games. Like, it's like I played Skyrim.
Yes.
I've played Minecraft. I've played Stardew Valley. And I played Animal Crossing. And a variety of DS games when I was younger.
Okay.
Nintendo DS. Like, I can kind of count the amount of games that I've played on my fingers.
I'll say, Greta, that's a perfect perspective I want for people making games in 2026.
Yeah, because here's the thing, like, I don't have time.
Yeah.
And it sucks, but it is what it is.
That is like, I mean, part of this project is, most of the, I think you could get through an entire issue, all 10 games of an Indiepocalypse issue, and unless someone has a longer-ish visual novel, on average, I say a couple hours for all 10 games.
Yeah.
Your game.
Yeah, and that's how it should be.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Your game is like 20, 30 minutes, depending on how fast you read and how quick you solve it. But that is.
But like,
yeah.
The thing is, like, right now, like, I'm in the middle of working on a sequel to Margot.
Yes.
So, sequel that's been taking 4 years.
Right, because that's how you try to make a game that's longer than 30 minutes.
Yeah, so it's learning a lot of lessons. Yeah, like, I think as soon as this is done, I'm not going to do that again. Like, yes. I'm going to stick to 30 minutes, like, and just.
Yeah, that is like, it's the. Games are weird in that, like, how do you, like, make something, especially if you're like, I want to make something that people buy, that's where the trickiness comes in,
Yeah, that's exactly why we overscoped,
right?
Because we were like, oh, let's try to sell a game, because we didn't know that anyone was gonna play Margot on Steam. Like, we released it on itch.io and it was good. Like, I was happy with the response, like, from it, because I came from doing music,
right?
And so my response, like, the response to online stuff was really like, you're lucky if you get like a cool video, like,
yeah.
Like, it's really kind of like, I don't know, but. So I feel like games, it's like, it's just so much more. People feel like more invested in them, so they're more likely to kind of comment, Yeah,
especially itch is good for, like, developers playing each other's games and being passionate about each other's. I feel like that is the main audience, but I feel like it's good that I think there are more just like people playing games that are trickling towards itch.
Yeah. Yeah, so sorry.
No. So then you put it on Steam as well.
Yes, yeah. So we put it on Steam just like cuz we just wanted to know what the process was,
right?
Cuz we were curious about it. So we did that, and we like ended up getting like lots of plays because it was free and whatever else. So we were like, whoa, like maybe we can, release like a paid game, like, and make money. Like, whoa, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, no, it's sitting at like 300 something reviews, I think, which is not a small amount of reviews on Steam,
No, yeah. So then that's kind of like, so then you're like, oh, well, what can we make that's going to be a decent, like, size, decent playtime that people aren't going to return?
Yes.
Because the thing is with Steam, it's like if you have a paid game, then it's under. I can't remember what it is.
I think it's like, an hour. I think like the return range is like an hour.
Yeah. So if you haven't played, more than an hour or whatever it is, you can return it.
Right.
So you can put, like, if you release like an hour-long game and you charge $5 for it and someone plays it to the end, they can still return it and get
Right.
their money back.
They were like, "Oh, I love this game.
Which,
I returned it though
yeah.
because I want to make
Like,
money."
I'm assuming the majority of people wouldn't do that,
Yeah.
you know? But it's just kind of like a bracket where it's like that could hurt your algorithm, you know? Like
Right.
just the so yeah, we're kind of in this weird place where we're like, well, we should aim for like 2 hours, you know? And
Right.
so easier said than done.
Yes, yes. It's like what does 2 hours like? That's the trickiness about games compared to like other
Yeah.
mediums of like what does 2 hours even mean? You know,
Yeah.
like
It means a lot of variables.
right. If you want to make an hour long album, you just go okay. Well, I make songs that equal roughly an hour,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's not like some people are going to listen to them faster and some people are going to listen to them slower, and you have to account for
Yeah.
that.
Exactly.
You can't be like, oh, I'm used to this music, so I get through this album half as fast because I know, or
Yeah.
twice as fast because I know how to get through it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting.
So what brought you from music to trying games in the first place?
The pandemic.
Right. Just
Yeah, like during the pandemic I started doing more animation.
yeah.
And sort of doing like animated music videos and whatever. And it was just such a weird time where it's like it felt like the internet was the whole world,
Right.
you know?
I have
For me at least.
yes. I was gonna say I had the luxury of being an essential worker, so
Oh.
my life was functionally the same except I wore a mask all the time.
Oh my god. Yeah, see, I feel like those people are so much better off now.
It does.
Honestly, like they're the most like regulated people, I feel like.
I've thought about that more and more as time goes on of like, oh, like it was a miserable experience. I started working overnights so that I could avoid people. So like I was working, 11 o'clock to 5 a.m. or whatever.
Where were you working? Do you mind me asking?
I was in essential, what's the word? A supermarket employee.
Okay, yeah.
But like a weird mid-level non-customer facing one, so I could just switch to overnights.
Okay.
But my place of employment did not close.
Right. Oh my god, so you're just like at the supermarket alone at night?
No, there were other people there like stocking the things. But if you were in a supermarket and you saw like all those fun little social distancing stickers on the floor,
Yeah.
I put down a lot of those. I spent a lot of time doing things like
Oh my
putting those
God.
down.
Well, that's like, yeah, that is essential work.
Yeah. I'm not like that Baskin Robbins employee, which I think about a lot. Folks, if you have not seen one of my favorite pictures on the internet of, like, I think it's Baskin Robbins, someone in like an ice cream mascot costume taking a photo in a bathroom, asking, how am I an essential worker?
Right.
Well, because people, and of course the answer was people needed their DoorDashed ice cream. The people who could just stay at home all the time.
Yeah. God.
But it did feel like, I think just being like cooped up, like I think where human beings are probably like, interacting with thousands of people is probably too many people for us to interact with at once, but also nobody is too few people. We need a nice balance in between.
Yeah. Yeah. So like the pandemic, like I think, like since all of a sudden the internet was the world.
Right.
So I think I became a lot more focused on like, how am I in the world?
Yes, right.
How am I on the internet?
How do I exist anymore?
Yeah. Yeah, and so I felt like the videos just weren't really like doing it. It was like a lot of work for like really like, 40 views max, like,
which,
I
mean, that's the internet also does a miserable thing of like, imagine if you put on a show and 40 people showed up,
Well, yeah, like Well, but I don't know. YouTube is weird because like 40 views is really like maybe 2 people.
Right. What does that even mean? You know.
Yeah. But anyway, so then for whatever reason, whether or not that was just in my head, because that could have just been very well in my head, like, oh my god, nobody cares. That could have just been in my head. But either way, I just was like, I want to, you know, do something that's more, people are like choosing to like play this game. Like people are choosing to like pay attention to me.
Right, because you can't passively play a game in the same way you can passively watch a video.
Yeah. Like, yeah. So that, and then also I just had a lot of time because I was off work.
Right.
And, yeah. So, my co-dev and I, we made it during the pandemic and we released it. And I can't remember the original question that you asked me.
I think it was just how'd you find your way into games, which you did answer.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it was just, you know, like a lot of people, you know, you just found yourself with suddenly 40 hours of free time every week.
Yeah.
And you're like, what do I do with this time? Besides, you know, stare around the walls and, you know, slowly lose my mind.
Yeah.
Well, perfect. I have a couple questions for you as we make our way to the end of our segment here.
Okay.
First up, what's your favorite type of rock?
Quartz.
I mean, this one has no right or wrong answer. It can be whatever you want to be. And second, perfect. This.
I'm not gonna be like specific about the color.
Nor would I require you to be. I didn't know. You're hitting me with like, can you get specific about it? I imagine you could.
Yeah.
But second question, a question that is optionally answered. Do you have a favorite Toho character?
Toho?
I'm going to take that as a no. Toho is a long-running bullet hell franchise with a healthy fan game community. It's been going since like the late 90s.
Okay.
They have an interesting approach to things. When I say they, I mean like basically the one person. Besides, maybe some questionable practices in the modern era. We'll see how those shake out.
How do you spell that?
Touhou. I do not. Yeah, I don't know how to put the right like little bit of spice on it to hit that pronunciation properly in English.
It's an anime?
No, it's like an everything.
Okay.
There's like
it's a bullet hell shoot 'em up video game series. Okay, yeah, that's what you just said.
Yes.
Okay.
But also like it has a lot of like it has a very large and thriving like fan works community. So a lot of people
love that.
Will make like you know music or videos or games or any number of things that are all technically Toho. Like, you know, here's a Toho, you know, and they can be released as like commercial products. Which is like an interesting.
There's no rights.
There is like there's like a few like, you know, I think they can't do adult games. It has to be a Toho game. Like you can't just have the characters guest starring in something. And I think there's one other thing that I always forget about. But there's like a few main rules, but otherwise you can kind of do whatever you want with it. Or you can just
like that idea.
Yeah, that's why I like to mention it because even if people don't know, it's an interesting like concept of like an approach to, you know, intellectual property, and also like what if we just didn't have that? What if intellectual property was kind of silly?
No, I'm so into that. Like, cause Margot is based off of like a kid's book that I had as a kid.
Right.
Not many people know that.
Well, Indiepocalypse Radio is for a place where I get hot scoops of things.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and so I just copied it basically.
But you know.
Well, no, but it's different. But it's like about this book that's like these two characters, Margot and Mitchell, these dinosaurs. They're dinosaurs in the book.
Okay, wait, that.
So, that's where my characters' names come from.
Okay. Yeah.
And the color schemes. There's an orange dinosaur and a blue dinosaur. And there's an Easter egg. There's an homage. There's an homage Easter egg in the one area of the house. There's like a picture of two dinosaurs, an orange one and a blue one.
Okay. Yes. That I would otherwise have no context for. If I'm like, what is I don't know these dinosaurs. What's going on? It's like when I was playing Wild Arms 2 and they had a little picture of Vash the Stampede in the place, like, because they like Western anime stuff or whatever. But this is my version, my indie version. I'm learning.
Yeah, because like I like that. Like, just, what is intellectual property? I think it's silly because it's like, no, like, you don't get it. Like, we're all part of the same thing.
Right.
Like, chill out. Like, we're only here for 80 years. It's not that long.
Right. And we just made this stuff up. Like, we just made up a guy.
Yeah, we made this up. It doesn't belong to you.
And chances are we made this up based on a bunch of other stuff somebody else made up at some point.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it used to be too. Like, you just tell a story that you heard from some guy and you change it, because why not?
Whatever is what the Inferno, Dante's trilogy is just classic self-insert fanfic or whatever.
Yeah.
It's all we've been doing it forever.
Yeah.
Well, Greta, thanks for joining me here today. We are going to be taking
thanks for having me.
And we'll be back in about a minute 47. Goodbye until then.
Okay.
Very quickly back. Hello and welcome back to Indiepocalypse Radio. I forgot to ask Ygrets. I forgot to ask how to pronounce that, but that was a blank slate from the Margo original game soundtrack made by our previous guest. Now we are here with our next guest who didn't make a game for Indiepocalypse, but if you are, this is not synced at all. We're like 30 issues away from the issue.
Yeah.
This is not even close. But who made the issue for the cover for issue number 73 of Indiepocalypse? And a illustrator, comic artist, Alex Sipple. Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Two guests in, I'm relaxed. We had a very chatty.
You're chilling.
We had a very chatty pre-show. Sometimes there was not a chatty pre-show. Everyone is deathly quiet.
Oh,
in the
really?
pre-show.
They just sit there, yeah.
And I'm like, how's this gonna go? And it's always...
I feel like some people get scared at a Discord call. I don't know. I guess I used to. I don't know if you feel that.
Not at all. I mean, I've I mean, this I've done.
I
Like
mean, yeah, you're on it every week.
I've done 208 of these things. I'm just cruising.
Yeah, it's really. Yeah, how long have you been doing the radio show?
The radio show, I think I started. I've been doing it for about 5 years.
Wow. Okay.
That's
crazy.
Because the zine is like 6 years old, and I started the radio show like a year into it because I had watched.
Okay.
I've been watching a lot of. I think it is now. It's been defunct for years now, but which is the cartoonist Evan Dom for a long time was doing a weekly like unarchived show of now the name has left me, but it was like a show
unarchived.
Of like unarchived show of like weird old cartoons.
Okay.
And animation stuff, and I was like, oh, I love live radio. It's like there's a funness to there being like a live show that you clock into.
Yes. I agree, and there's a lot of lost media out there. I feel like of radio shows like that just we can't find. I feel just in the moment.
And I was like, man, I would like to do a fun thing like that of just like, and then I tried it for like a week, and everyone's like, where's the archive? Where's the archive? I was like, fine. I had recorded them just in case. I was like, I guess I'll do an archive of it.
No, I think that's good. I feel like people can go back and listen to them,
Right, and let's be honest. I am a niche art game publisher, like running a once a month live stream. This is niches upon niches upon niches.
Yes, no, but it's good. It's
not like there's 10,000 people tuning in every week to listen.
No, that's real. I mean, I used to do like in college, I did a podcast with my friend, my roommate at the time, and it was called like "Be Right Back." We're watching Megamind. I don't know what we were on. We were obsessed with the movie Megamind and like bad animated media. Yes. And most of those episodes are like totally gone, but we'd have like 2 or 3 viewers a week. So it was just us, it's just for us.
Right.
So I feel that, and there's something beautiful about that. I think.
Yes. No. If it's the cumbersome tagline, which is I think appropriate for the show, where my philosophy of is like, I don't know if it's enjoyable to listen to, but I enjoy doing it.
No, that's good actually.
Like
I feel like they're probably enjoyable to listen to.
I think there is like people love to just like listen to other people's. It's weird when people have like said like I had someone on the show recently who was like, oh yeah, I listen to it occasionally like in the car, like it's just the thing that I listen to. I'm like, huh.
Yes, it's perfect for the car. I think.
Yeah, they're like, oh, that's
you got your buddies in there.
Right, it's like I'm listening to other game developers in the car or other, in this case, artists, because
yes.
Yes, true. As every artist, I think every person kind of reveals slowly, like, oh, I like my whatever career. I say emphasizing this thing that doesn't make any money.
Yeah. I feel it.
That is deeply unprofitable.
But it's a noble cause, I think.
Yeah, because I mean, it is deeply inspired by comics. My contract is literally like a comic anthology contract that I found and replaced comic with video game or whatever.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, it seems like you do like comics a lot, which is cool.
Yes, a big fan of the illustrated medium.
Yeah, so true. Me too.
That is how I had found your work. Or I think I'd seen it before. Like it was a very familiar style, but what put you in my immediate orbit for this project is that I had done. Play NYC at Anime NYC.
Oh yeah, I remember you emailing me about that.
And you were one of the people brave enough. What? What was that? Sorry.
What was Play NYC?
It's so if you've been to Anime NYC, that's in is it like the Javits Center? Is that where it is?
Yes.
I'm not in New York. I'm not a New Yorker. I don't know.
Yeah, I know you got it.
But you go there, you walk into the Javits Center, you're like, oh, look at this expo hall. It's right here. It's full of anime and stuff. Well, if instead you take a right and walk down past 2 different expo halls and then down another escalator, that's where Play NYC was. It was. Yeah,
I feel like I saw it.
It was like technically part of Anime NYC, but like way out of the way.
They put you in the basement.
Yes.
In there.
Then that is like definitely the experience. Like I've done MomoCon as well.
Oh, I haven't done MomoCon.
which has like
Did they put you in the basement?
no, it actually has an exceptional game placement.
Oh, fuck yeah.
There's like the games are between like the large vendors and Artist Alley, so you have to walk through them most of the
Oh,
time.
that's good. That's a nice placement.
Yeah, because those are the two things that people know they want to go to at an anime con is like, I want to buy my box says an anime character in it.
Yes.
And then I want to buy a print that has my favorite anime character, and I have to walk through these video
let's
games
hope.
to get there. I guess I'll check what these things are.
Yeah, what are these? Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's good.
But when you were there, you were one of the people brave enough to bring an original comic to an anime convention.
Oh, yeah. A thankless endeavor, I think. But
Yes,
yeah,
truly.
I sold some, So yeah, that was cool.
And I was one of those freaks who was like, oh, people. Whenever the 6 or 8, I think I bought everyone who brought an original, which really emphasized not that I had a giant stack of cash, but really how few people do that.
Yes, yeah, it's viable there. I
Yeah.
think I remember you because I remember somebody being like, oh, I'm buying all the original comics, and I feel like it was you.
It probably
I don't
was.
know how, but
I think
yeah, which is awesome.
because I think I did say that because I think I rushed through very excited of like I want to buy all these original.
Well,
comics.
yeah, and I remember because it was uncommon because most people are like, I don't know.
Right.
They're like, can I get the anime print, anime NYC? And I'm like, yeah, I guess that's why you're here. But,
Because that is also like a way to like, oh, and the same thing where like, oh, well, this is what I need to bring to you if I want to make a lot of money.
Yes. Yeah. It's definitely hard because I want to do more original stuff, and then I do a lot of conventions, and that's like something that gives me money, and I have to make anime fan art, which I love doing.
Right.
But it's always like, I don't know how to pivot. I don't like, do you feel like cons are financially viable for Indiepocalypse? Like, how do you feel about cons? I'm curious about this.
I do great at cons. Like
I'm sure. I feel like it's a great concept.
like surprisingly well at conventions for like someone who sells weird niche art. I think part of it is, I don't know if you've seen, you can kind of see them on the little thing spinning on the stream right now. I make little like, I use like cassette cases.
Yes. I've seen these pictures of these.
Yes. So those like are an immediate draw. Well, once I explain to people what they are, I have to constantly explain to people what they are. But once they see what they are, once I explain to people that they're video games, they're like, oh. And then I have the benefit of
it's pretty cool.
Of that being like, I also have the benefit of, I keep forgetting to pay attention to be when your cover shows up so I can point it out to people. But the covers do the heavy lifting because people will be like, oh, I saw this cool art. And they're like, I wanted to stop by and see what
cool.
This thing was.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I feel like the art is a really good selection of artists and styles. When you emailed me, I was like, this is really interesting. And I had seen like some of these people I already follow, like the artists, and I was like, oh, like this is what that is, because I had seen some of these images.
Right. Oh,
so I guess it's working.
Like seeing even the specific,
okay.
like just not like I recognize this artist, but like I saw their specific Indiepocalypse cover art.
Yeah, I think it was God, I'd have to go look at the number. Right. I forget the name of the artist. It's 66. I'm looking at like all the images,
yes.
like the artist. Yeah. I love this artist. And I had seen this image and I was like, okay, just like like before you even emailed me, but I didn't register it as like, a project or anything. And so it was interesting to see it later. So I think that's a great way to connect with people is the covers, because the games are amazing too, and I feel like it's a great access point.
Yeah, because I feel like there is like a certain lack of kind of more. We were talking about this mildly in the pre-show of more. What's the word, like alternative art spaces for games, like things that are more like indie. Because there are plenty of like I have a local indie game show, but it's different than like. I went to Boston Fig and Mice like back to back, and like they are very different shows. Like there's the
I've not been to either, so
I recommend. I'm a big fan. I don't know where you are relative, but I do like Mice a lot. I think it's a great like indie comic show.
Yeah, people have really hyped up Mice to me. I'm like in LA
Okay, yes,
now.
very far away.
But I would like to go to Mice, if it's ever viable.
No, you've got to know. Like you've got good shows over on that coast as well. I think
It's true. It's true. Yeah, we got Kala and like some other random stuff.
Right.
Yeah, but there's like a really vibrant like East Coast like comic scene, I feel like.
Yes, yeah, I think that is, that's just coastal elite stuff, so to speak.
Yeah, true. Sure.
And maybe just like I think because like smaller is not the same like big. We don't have LA basically. I'd say.
Yeah. It's a different feeling.
Yeah.
Do you ever do cons like across the country or anything, or is it mostly East Coast?
No. I've gone to like I've already got PAX West scheduled again.
Oh,
which is in
okay.
Seattle.
Yeah, that's fun.
I've been to Berlin for like for a maze, which is like the closest thing to what we're talking about, which is kind of like a smaller scale, like more in line with like a film festival sort of thing, and more like I've never gone to, but I'd imagine, I'm as I am when I'm on when people on their show, I'm looking at their things, and you're going to Mocha, which in my mind Mocha is more like an indie comic show than like an anime NYC is.
No, totally. It's smaller, and I'm looking at Amaze, and that's really interesting.
Yeah,
because it's more games oriented, right?
Yes, Amaze is a game show, like a game event. That is.
Yeah.
But there were way fewer of those in games, and they were like,
yes,
falling apart as we speak.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I know it's hard out there. I feel like the anime con is cannibalizing everything else.
Right, because like those are like I feel like you're like, oh well, that's my moneymakers. I go to an anime con, and then for my personal satisfaction, I'll go to like SPX or TCAF or.
Yes. No, I mean, Mocha Fest even, I'm going
or Mocha.
More for pleasure, I suppose, like, who knows if I'll make a ton of money. I hope it's like, gonna break even, but then right after that, I'm going to Anime Boston, which is like, everybody's like, oh, you're gonna make so much money at that, and I'm like, okay, well, at least I can go to Mocha Fest and see some cool illustrators for a bit,
Yes, that is, it feels like those are like the cash ones in between.
Yeah.
Like the for fun ones. You get to see John Leguizamo will be there. Which
Which
I was not expecting that. But I guess
you should go.
I guess he's written a graphic novel.
Oh, wild. Okay.
Like probably like an autobiographic novel.
All right. I mean, let's read it. Let's see what he's got.
But that is but there are platforms. I believe oh, you know what? I think you have an answer to this question, judging based on this art I've got on your website. Hey.
Oh yeah.
This one from Ben Bird person. Hey, what's your favorite Disco Elysium character, or who is?
Oh my god. Yeah. Thank you for this question. I played Disco like last year actually. So I'm kind of late on there on that.
I've yet to play it, so I'm even later.
Yeah, really?
Yes, no. It is also. It seems like something fully in my strike zone, but I am also like very woefully behind on like modern commercial games.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Like, I mean, I think Disco is genuinely worth your time.
Yes, no.
If you're gonna play anything,
I've got like a huge like backlog of like when I get to like I want to play modern independent games because I feel like I get the modern stuff from like curating the zine,
that makes sense.
And then I'm like, oh, I want to play a lot of older stuff.
Yeah.
And then also,
so then you're like, the modern stuff is falling by the wayside.
Right. Because like my longer games, like I want to get like I want to build up my history, and then I also like want to watch movies or whatever and do other stuff.
I know. Well, that's the thing with games is that they're very time consuming. Like,
yes.
I don't know. At least Disco's like I think 25 hours, so it's not going to kill you. But I can't really recommend games to friends because I'll be like, you should play Yakuza. It's like 100 hours. It's like no, like.
I mean that. Okay, I will say that is an exception for me. I've played all the Yakuza. I'm current on Yakuza.
Oh fuck yeah. Okay, well I have not played past 6 because I got mad, but
Okay.
I'm wondering what your favorite one is.
Um,
What's your favorite Yakuza?
my favorite is let me think. I think my gut instinct is always my favorite Yakuza is 2.
Whoa, 2 is really fun. Did you
I
play Kiwami or like
I
the
played original 2.
where they're all shapes and polygons?
Yes. Oh,
I love that.
I think it's got the right mix of like, I like the antagonist of 2. I like
Yes. Okay. He's pretty iconic.
Yeah.
You know, there's a twist. You know, I like the mini games of 2, and I like Majima in that one. And
Yes.
I always like seeing what Majima does.
I think you've got a
2
great,
is really fun.
yeah. I think you've got your best version of Majima in there. Like he's not too nuts yet, but he's still pretty nuts.
Yeah, he's sort of like a solid Majima. Like it's what people think of, I think.
I do, and
Because that's the one with the construction, right? Like the construction game. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, that's the one where he started construction stuff, and he's like,
yes, iconic.
There was no construction mini game back when did you know?
Oh yeah, because Kiwami.
Yeah, the Majima's original voice actor was Mark Hamill in English.
Yes, I did know that, which is really weird, right? It's so strange.
Like,
I don't know how they got him to do that. Like
I think there was like a weird stacked voice cast for that original Yakuza game in English, because Sega's,
which is obviously really good.
They're like, we're gonna do like a big push. Yeah, Michael Madsen, Elijah Dushku.
Okay. I mean, they really put their all into it. It's great.
Which is, and then it like tanked, and then they're like, they just have Japanese voice actors now.
Yeah. Well, I think now they have
yeah. Well, because
oh my god, Matt Mercer doing Majima
right
in the newer games.
It's like swung back around where it's like popular again, or like it finally.
Oh yeah, it's
popular.
weird. I know, now it has like a big following, but back then nobody gave a fuck about it because it's kind of it's like camp. I feel like Yakuza is kind of like a crazy thing, you know. You have to want it,
right? Because it's like both a extremely self-serious crime drama, and then like the most camp shit you've ever seen.
Yes, which is my favorite sort of thing. But yeah. Oh, I guess back to Disco, which is not as camp. I think it's more serious.
No,
my favorite character.
It still has comedy in it, but it's more.
Yeah, no, There's a similar like whimsy and flavor, I think, but I don't know. I'm connecting two things that don't really connect, but my favorite character is Harry.
Okay, yes.
And most people will say Kim, especially at cons will ask me, or like I'll ask them and they'll be like, oh, Kim, which makes sense. But I like Harry. I love Kim. Harry just speaks to me on a personal level. I connect to his bullshit, his insanity. I like that he connects with people, but is really weird. I don't know. Disco Elysium is great character.
Yes, I've had a friend who's been playing it, who played a lot recently. He's like, he keeps telling me, he's like, man, Disco Elysium is good. I'm like, it probably is really good. I should probably.
Yeah, they weren't lying. It's good.
Yeah. I should probably really.
I haven't met somebody. No, sorry, you go.
No. So I guess maybe this is even like a broader question of Alex. Like, what is your relationship to games? Because sometimes, like, I never think to. Sometimes I guess I'll see like a Disco Elysium fan art on your website, and I'll go, "Oh, this person plays games," but that's rarely like that's not like an assumption for people who, when I'm commissioning them for a cover art, of like, do they care about games or not?
Wow, that's not like a factor.
No, like I did a.
I guess that makes sense.
I don't know if you're familiar with this the publication Koosh.
No.
KUS.
How do you spell it?
KUS, but the S has a little accent on it because.
Okay.
They're a Latvian-based alternative comics publisher that started focused on like publishing, promoting the Latvian comic community, and they've since done like more international publication. At the drop of a hat, I'm very excited to talk about Koosh because I love Koosh.
Well, I'm looking at their website, and the format is very similar to Indiepocalypse, like in energy. I could see the inspiration. I think that's sick.
I will say the lead-in was that the first collaborative issue I did with of Indiepocalypse, like my first special issue was a collaborative issue with Koosh.
Crazy.
Where they
Oh my
provided
God.
4 comic artists and I provided 4 game developers, and we kind of paired them together randomly.
Oh, that's sick.
Make
What?
4 brand new games.
I'm gonna have to go and look at that
With the
because that's pretty interesting.
and the long road to get here was that like most of if like when the person was reaching out, I was like, a lot of these artists haven't played the games at all, or like even maybe like never even played a game. I was like, that's even better.
No, that makes interesting work, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
No,
think
that makes sense.
the thing I think about is like I feel like sometimes games have a problem with people, and I think is partially because of the length of them. You know, like that people
Yes.
only play
Yes.
games and they don't have like a perspective outside of games. Where it's
No, I think that's true.
it's easier if you're making film or comics to be like, well, I can make comics and read comics, and like reading comics doesn't take my entire life because they're short.
Yeah. No, I do think that's interesting with games. I've noticed too that people, like the common person, is not necessarily into like games, but I think like they always know like really big commercial like AAA games or like mobile games, right? Like I
Right.
feel like everybody plays games, but then it's like the indie space, it's harder to have like household names and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people don't find it accessible for whatever reason, which is weird. It's a weird medium. Because like
Yeah.
with other, like, I don't know, animation, like everybody knows animation at this point, but then it's like, I don't know. Then like, some people be like, I've never heard of Undertale. And it's like, how do you live on this earth?
Right.
Like,
I mean, right,
for
exactly.
me, that's such a normal thing, you know?
It's not like a niche or like there are like niche
No.
animations, and those are increasingly like taking
Yes.
off too.
No, right. They've become more mainstream, and people often know really obscure anime for some reason, out of nowhere. But with indie games, it's harder. Like a lot of my friends are like, I just don't even know what disco is, or what other stuff is. And it's like,
those
wow.
are like the if you build your theoretical tiers of like
Yes.
mystery, those are like one surface, like Disco Elysium
Yes,
is
yes.
like the Godfather or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. No. Exactly.
If-
It's like I feel like that's pretty mainstream, right? But
right.
no.
If Fortnite is a Marvel movie, Disco Elysium is
Yeah.
a Scorsese movie. Like,
Yeah.
everybody still knows what they are, obviously.
Yeah. We would hope.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. Because I don't know. I feel like I'm not super indie with it, because I think when I talk to people who know way more about the history of games, they definitely know way more than me. But then it's like I know more than the average person.
Right.
And I grew up playing a lot of games. But like when I was a child, my stuff that I was really into was like Kirby and like Mario and like Zelda. Like I was like a big Nintendo kid, but
Yes.
I didn't even like comprehend the indie scene like at all. Like that didn't exist to me.
Right.
And
Or-
then I think
I think
go on.
sometimes people don't think about it as like did you play any like Flash games or like Newgrounds or anything like that?
Yes.
Yes.
No, true.
And people like
Yeah,
don't think of that as indie games, even though that right.
that's true.
We were playing a lot of indie games, but we weren't thinking of them like that.
Yeah. I wonder if the kids of today think of Friday Night Funkin' as like this like indie game. They probably don't. They're just like hanging out playing Friday Night Funkin',
Right.
like, but
Which-
it's more mainstream for them,
Yeah, which like I am loosely. I think it's a rhythm game. That's as far as you'll get me of knowing what Friday Night Funkin' is.
Yeah, I don't know like the lore that I suppose the kids know, but
Yes.
yeah, I'm aware. I feel like because I worked with kids for a while, like in like 2023, I was teaching kids chess for like a year, and like
Right.
I would talk to them about games, and it was so strange what they knew and what they didn't know, because they'd be like, some 5-year-old would be like, oh, I know what Amazing Digital Circus is, but
Yes.
they obviously didn't know what Undertale was. So I was like, this is so weird, Like,
Right.
I don't know.
And that is like to talk about indie animation. That is big indie animation.
Oh yeah, and yet it's so big, like what does indie even mean anymore? I guess
Right.
just independent, but
The death of the term indie is, I just
yes.
I logged into Google Incognito just to go into Google Incognito just to go on YouTube just to check what their view count was like, and without searching anything, you know,
That's funny.
Amazing Digital Circus is sitting on the front page with 29 million views, which is like an absurd amount.
Oh, it's so big. It's the biggest ever. It's crazy to watch, I think, because I don't know, there didn't used to be such a scene for indie animation, quote unquote, and now
Right.
it's growing slowly. But I still feel like similarly with games, I think like it's still just scratching the surface of like what's gonna happen, I feel.
Yes.
You know?
And you're still hitting a lot of like, you know, it's more like you're getting a couple of few like commercial breakout hits, you know. And they're still like pretty commercial in terms of like, you know, content and like how you play them, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
And I think that slowly gives way to the more like freak niche art stuff, you know.
Yeah, no, it's nice. I do think it creates a bigger space for those things. I don't know if you've seen games like turn in the past like 6 years that you've been doing it. Like, do you feel like there's more of of an audience for indie games? Because I feel like there is, but
yes, yeah,
I don't know.
I feel like I am. I feel like I joked. I made, but you know, this was back on Twitter when Twitter was called Twitter. Even that's to age how long. I think I made a post to the effect of you know, to the old adage of like, you guys aren't ready for this, but your kids are gonna love it, in reference to Indiepocalypse. And the longer I do it, the more that feels true. Of like, oh, like it is increasingly like the people of my generation, to say, you know, people in their 30s, the elder statesmen,
Yeah, the old people,
are like, I'm like 10 years too late or too ahead of like the people who are into this sort of thing, or people who are like just getting out of high school now or in their 20s, you know, they're like feeling the urge of like indie games.
That is so real, because I feel that in animation, which is like my background and like what I studied in, and I feel like sometimes I see the people who are 10 years younger than me right now, and I'm like, oh, they have so many like resources and tools, like and that's exciting, where like they can just make casually like short films, you know. Right. I feel like it was harder to make short films, or even like indie games, you know, like and just like in your house alone as a child, you know. Right.
And they were seeing things like, you know, like Digital Circus, or like what's the other, or like Big Top. I was trying to think of another one that wasn't a clown one, but the only other one that was top of mind was Big Top Burger, which is also clowns.
I love that. Yeah, I was afraid you're gonna be like, oh, like Boozy Pop, and I was like, we can't talk about this, but
that's
Big
another.
Top Burger is a better option.
Yes. I was trying to go through
Big Top Burger.
Look for another indie animation rather than thing that is on Amazon, you know.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, that's interesting how it's not really indie, is it? But Big Top Burger, beautiful endeavor. Yes. Are there more episodes coming out?
I don't know.
Point? I feel like I'm a casual Big Top Burger head.
I've never. The thing is, I think I've seen like one episode, but they did some.
Really?
There's making. There are some making ofs that they released. Yeah, there's something as of 2 months ago.
Okay.
But I knew it as
it's still going.
I knew it. I learned about it through the New Zealand comedians, Tim Batt and Guy
That
Montgomery,
makes sense.
because they did voices.
That makes sense. And then, it's very New Zealand core, I guess.
And then I was like, I looked at the first episode, and like their cast is like stacked, like it's ridiculous.
I know. I feel like it's weird of indie animation because their cast is always stacked, and I'm like, I guess people just want to work on these things. I don't know.
Or they they caught people at the right time. Like they caught like Chris Frelling,
you think so?
Io Edebiri at just the right time, where they were kind of big, but like
maybe it's just serendipitous. Yeah,
they were like not quite as big as they are now.
No, that's true. Obviously, Big Top Burger made them famous.
That pre-Bear Io.
Yeah. No, exactly. That's crazy. I forgot that they were in there.
But it is.
Yeah.
But that's also like the indies, the like indies supporting indies sort of thing of like everyone just kind of like works within their. I think that is the big thing that is changing in games more than anything else. Is that you're getting more more of a vibe of indies hanging out with indies and working on each other's stuff. And because I think more than any medium kind of comes from a history of like, you know, you're upper middle class and you already have a computer and you're like making a studio or whatever.
Yeah.
So you get that less
No,
like
it's true.
scrappy DIY collab sort of stuff. But I've got a couple of questions I'm going to fire at you very quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Animals. We got a bunch of animals. Got a bunch of potential colors.
Okay.
Horse, cat, bird, fish. What colors are we talking?
Oh God. Okay. I guess a red horse.
Okay.
What is that Pokemon like? Rapid Dash. That's not. I mean, I guess the hair is red. I'm thinking of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that's fully red. I don't. You're losing me.
I just red on the ends. Yeah.
Yes.
But I would like to be some sort of what was that bird? Okay. I guess like a blue bird. I'm thinking of like Rio, the movie Rio. I fucking love that movie.
Okay.
I wish I was a macaw. If I was any bird, I'd be a talking bird, I think.
That would be very handy if I was an animal that I could still talk.
Yeah, right. I guess you're limited by by your bird brain, but what was the other animal?
We got fish and cat.
Fish and cat. I guess an orange fish. Like I like goldfish are actually really scary to me.
Okay.
Do you feel this? Like they're a little frightening. They seem like fucked up when you see them in the store. You don't feel this.
No, I don't. I'm not often seeing goldfish in the store.
Yeah, I guess I haven't seen one in quite a while, but they're always like bulging.
Yes, I know, but I know what you're talking about. Like if you got real up close to a goldfish.
They're just like so like scary. They like seen shit, but they have nothing in their brain. I don't know. Yeah. They frighten me.
Now I'm wondering, like, do they sell fish in like? Well, I'll let you answer this question.
In the store?
Yeah.
No, go on.
We'll get in this. We'll crack in this in the group section, perhaps.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll cover these mysteries.
Yeah, that's what people want to hear, I think. Yeah. Okay. Was it cat?
Cat. The final one is a cat.
Okay. Oh shit. I would say black cat.
Okay. Perfect.
I think black cats are sick.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a long history of. Actually, haven't had black cats in a while. A lot of just like black and then tuxedo, which is like mostly black, really.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, it's mostly black.
Like
with a little quirkiness.
Yeah, with a little white belly.
Yeah. Cute.
But now the two standard Indiepocalypse questions, those were the special guest section questions for this show.
I'm like, thanks for that, guys. Love that.
What's your favorite type of rock?
Oh, see, yeah, I heard you ask Greta this, and I was like, I have to think about this. I would say malachite.
Okay.
Is really cool. I think that shit looks so cool, but I don't know. As a kid, I used to like collect rocks a lot. But I've lost a lot of that knowledge. But my dad is like a geologist head, so he would like teach me all that shit. But now I've disrespected him by forgetting everything.
The more I do this show a lot, and like I love the rock question is fun because of one, do people go to the mineral or the music as their instinct? And how the first person asks often sets the tenor for how other people ask.
Yes, that makes sense.
But
because I assumed it must be rock.
Right.
What is it intended? Is it an open-ended question? Do you just like to see what happens?
I think the intention initially was about rocks. The person who had asked it was also into rocks. So they were, what's your favorite type of rock? The mineral. But I like it as like an open-ended Rorschach. But also, a lot of people will be like, I love to pick up rocks as a kid. Rock. And when you said that, like the idea, like, do kids like to pick up rocks because rocks are free and there's free stuff kids can get?
Yes. It's actually anti-capitalist to pick up rocks, I guess.
Right, because like,
that's public property.
I'm a kid. I don't have anything. People can't own rocks. No one owns a rock. They're like,
no, it's true. That is interesting because like when you pick up a rock and then you have it in your house your whole life and then maybe you die, that rock goes back to the earth. You know what I mean? Like nobody gets that rock. Like it's just like of the earth.
Right. No one thinks of like who's they're passing on this rock to. I mean, that is the thing you tried not to think too much about it, but the little tiny trinkets in our life that don't really mean anything to anybody.
Yes.
Like which of our things are not worth value when someone cracks open our house for an estate sale?
Right. Yeah, exactly. The rocks are not valuable.
Yes.
but they were to us. That there's something punk about that. Yeah.
Almost as if like the monetary value we place on things is fully made up.
Yeah, maybe it's not real.
Yeah.
We're cracking this on Indiepocalypse Radio.
Yes.
We've ended capitalism.
I try to end capitalism on the show every single. Indiepocalypse
Yeah, you would hope.
is a begrudging participant in capitalism of just like
Yeah.
like whenever I'm like, this sucks, why do I want to market? But I'm like, you know what? If fucking Fortnite makes $10 billion, why can't, we shave
Yeah,
a little bit?
Indiepocalypse make.
Right.
Yeah.
Why can't independent artists just like shave some of that? Like, it's so long as we're required to have money, why don't you give money to independent people?
No, it's true. I was excited about this when you emailed me because I was like, I like how this is on the fringes of capitalist like artistic endeavor. Like you don't have to. I don't know. I felt like it was pure. I was like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. Now, Alex, I can pull up the spreadsheet of how unprofitable this project is.
Oh, sure.
It is deeply.
Expect deeply
there. I think I've done 74, technically 76 releases if you count bonus ones. There were
crazy.
I think there were 3 or 4 that are profitable.
Wow. Yeah. It makes sense because like whenever I do like group collaborative zines, usually fanzines, it's like I'm like, here are my $50 that I made, and like obviously I worked for hours, so that's not that's not a profit, and it's just a labor of love, and I feel like that makes sense for this. I think even though it deserves like money, I think.
Yes. I think that $50 you got from that zine deserves, $500. Or there's your cover. Oh, it just passed, but if you were paying attention at that moment, caught me say that.
Yeah, it's that robot. It's that damn robot.
Yeah, that is a cool robot. I love my favorite thing of being like, hey, just make whatever you want. I don't care what it is. I don't want to see it.
I was so excited.
Make it handed into me. I want to get it when I get it. And never in
That's
my
my
life
favorite.
have I been disappointed. It's always so excited to see it.
I'm sure. It's really fun. I mean, that's my ideal. I actually like hate commissions, like in that people tell me what to do. And so when you're like, you can do whatever, I was like, yes, like finally, I just do whatever I want.
I've had to give people notes twice. Once because they spelled the title wrong. Once because they didn't put it on the cover.
Oh my God. Well, those are pretty good notes to give, I think.
And also there may be 2 covers in which I missed that the cover is misspelled.
Really?
Yes.
It's okay. It's like quirky.
Yeah, it's a big.
That's crazy how many times it happens.
It's a big, long, made-up word,
Yeah, I could see people being like, "I can't do it."
Yeah, it's easy to add an extra I or an E or an A or something. But anyway, final question.
Sorry, what did you? Okay.
Do you have a favorite Toho character?
Oh, see, I was like, I won't. Yeah, I know of Toho.
Yes.
And like all of my friends know Toho. I know the main girl is like Reimu, right?
Yes.
Or no, the red girl. I like her design. It's so weird because I had not heard of Toho like my whole life until I was in college and I was at art school, and everybody was like, I know Toho, and I was like, what? And like I would hear about it all the time. And then now, like, everybody who's in the game space will be like, oh, I love Toho. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. Like, I know the Toho song, but I need to get more in there. I know it's a bullet hell, and I don't know. Well, I think that seems fun.
And you can do other things. You can watch Bad Apple.
And do other things. Yes, I know Bad Apple. See, like, I feel like the cultural impact of Toho has been there for me, but I just didn't know what it was.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, the fun thing about playing a Toho game as a fan of Undertale is you need to play a Toho game for approximately 30 seconds to realize Toby Fox likes Toho.
Oh, yeah. I know my sister's really into games, and we play Undertale and Deltarune and talk about it a lot, and she's always like, oh, yeah, it's clear that Toby Fox loves Toho. Like,
yes, so, like his musical style is Toho core, to put it to put it plainly.
Yeah, maybe I should get into Toho music then, because I love that shit.
Yes. Definitely, like, I did not play any of this, but I often play a lot of Toho music on this show, because it's good. That makes sense. Alex, thanks for joining me on the show. I have a notification. Oh, that's just a not important notification within this chat.
Okay.
Because sometimes, I'm often doing this show, so I'm not really paying attention to like a Twitch chat or even like what Discord notifications or anything. and sometimes I miss people.
Yeah,
being
no, that's
like,
real.
oh, actually, I have to go now. But they said in the chat,
Yeah.
they said in like the Discord, I'm like, I'm not reading that. I'm talking to someone.
Yeah, right. I'm busy.
But anyway,
Just a fan.
we're gonna go on break, and we'll be back talking about the thing that we were going to talk about. That I forgot what it was. Oh, goldfish. Can you buy them anymore? And the secret of Indiepocalypse's lost total. All that and more after in about 1 minute and 55 from now. Goodbye for now. Face. Hello, welcome back to Indiepocalypse Radio. That was now I forgot. How do you pronounce your screen name? How do you usually say that out loud?
Wygrets.
Wygrets. That was Wygrets again with Quit. Our guest right here, doing a quick talk about.
You're digging into my deep cut music album from 2019.
I am. When I do nothing, I love to dig deep. Like, this is not just Margot soundtrack hour, you know. You've made other music before then.
That's awesome.
I like to, like I said, when I have artists on, I like to go up and pick up their albums. But we've got the whole crew is back. The whole 2-person crew of Greta and Alex are back. We're hanging out. We're talking. Revealing the secret of, since I have so I can close this spreadsheet, Indiepocalypse, after 6 years, is sitting at a cool negative $15,439.57.
Yes.
which spread over 6 years, you know, is like
not bad.
No, that's like $2,500 a year, which is like, in terms of having like disposable income, is not that bad. Like it's not. I'm not impoverishing myself with it.
Yeah, you could just like. You go to Paris with that money or something, but
right?
You're making beautiful art.
Yes, like Indiepocalypse.
I think is better.
No, I also think it's much better. Indiepocalypse is born out of like I paid off my student loans and my car loans. I'm like, I have like $400 extra a month. What should I do with this money?
That's so awesome.
Yeah, that is actually amazing.
I don't use the word awesome lightly.
Well, I will.
Really?
Thank you. It was part of me being like a very frustrated game developer, and as I was getting better at it, I was like, unlike you, Greta, who could stick with a project, I would do something for like 8 months or like even less, and I would just burn myself out because I'm like, I don't want to make something that's like commercial length, and this sucks.
Yeah.
And then I was like, someone should pay people to make small games.
Yeah.
And you took it upon yourself.
Right, to be the change or whatever. And I don't think that change is manifested yet in 6 years.
It's doing something.
But
I think it is.
There's one or two that pop up every now and then. Game Poems just came out fairly recently. I'd recommend people check out Game Poems if they haven't.
Oh, okay. Look it up.
Likewise, Game Poems can be played through in like an hour or so to play through all the games. But
cool. Yeah.
And I think the website is just gamepoems.com. I had like 12 people from that on the show fairly recently. As like a little,
oh really? Okay.
As like a launch day party. Well, whenever I see another person who makes something like this, I get very excited about it.
Yeah, 12 people on one call.
Yeah. Yes, and
crazy. Was that fine?
Yes. Well, I've practiced before because I did one. There was a capstone project for one of, I think it was UCLA, and it was like 9 people on their team.
Oh, great! Awesome.
And I've made. It's one of those things. I wonder if I have it in my video archive. It must exist in the video archive, the one meaningful video archive of the show, because their game was Home Run Miko, I think. Yes, and it was like a baseball themed kind of like action puzzle game, and there was like 9 of them. So I set up their photos like they were on a baseball diamond. I put them in the.
Wow.
I placed them all throughout the field.
They better fucking love that. That's crazy.
I enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, you're like, this is so insane. I love that. That's graphic design. That's the power of images.
Yes. Yeah, this is random perspective, but I was reading from an outsider perspective from Comic Side. This is from Koyo in the chat, a long time fan of the chat of the zine. Also, worked on. I don't know if I ever said. We were like, oh, a person who has worked in games as well, a prolific artist. But the idea, I was reading from an outside perspective from the comic side, and assuming that visual novel is a cash grab, and it's like, yeah. I think that perspective comes from like, if I'm making my assumption, where that perspective is coming from, it comes from, big studios would be like, oh, we do a visual novel for fun, And 90% of the time they're jokes.
No, it's true.
And so
I guess because people see it as like a low effort genre, but it's not necessarily, right?
No. You mean making like 20 illustrations and writing 10,000 words or whatever?
It's hard as fuck. Yeah. Yeah, it's like that's not really lucrative, but
yes.
Yeah, weird.
No, they're like, it's like an intensely high effort. They're just not like gameplay or whatever. So
people get weird about that.
Yeah, but it is like a deeply, Itch.io is a sea of visual novel devs making no money.
Oh yeah, I feel like there's so many on there, and yeah, I am like, it's for 5 people to love, I guess, which I think is, I don't know, there should be more.
Yeah, and it is. There are like passionate scenes of like, past contributor. I'm trying to think of the full name because it's an extremely long name. Can I just search Yuki 4P? Will that show up? Oh, it will show up. Yes.
Yay.
Milky, who had contributed Yuki's palpitating, passionate, long ass name, phenomenal, and quite frankly proficient. Where's this full title? Anyway, that was fan translated into French, Dutch, Spanish, Japanese, and German. And that
wow!
And that is
crazy.
That is a free visual novel.
Wow, free is crazy.
Yeah, that's Yuki's palpitating, passionate, phenomenal, and quite frankly proficient quest for a (parentheses) hot girlfriend.
Okay, let's go.
and that is like, there is a large thriving, like, visual novels feel the closest to, like, if you want to like line up games with like other like DIY art forms, of people like jamming together and just being passionate about like other people's art. Visual novels feel like the most like in line with that culture, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's true. It's really collaborative.
Like you could slot in a visual novel person most cleanly where you would slot in like a comic artist or something. They feel the closest to that scene.
It's true. There's something there.
And part maybe a lot of it is like a lot of those people are just like coming from, you know, you kind of need an artistic background in a lot of cases to make a bunch of art.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that reminds me, Greta, like I wanted to ask like what your like process was with your game artistically. Like how did you like did you make different animations and like layer that? It was just very interesting to me because I played it and I thought it was so cool. Like I don't know, I never thought that you could make a point and click game like that, and so it was really fun. I also love the story and everything, by the way. Sorry to like go off topic, I guess. But
no, I will take it extremely on topic. It's complimenting each other's work. Always on topic.
Yay.
Well, yeah, that's interesting. You guys are talking about like visual novel stuff because I definitely feel that it's like similar, like 2D games, like point and click stuff is like very similar to visual novel type games too. But I think like, well, because I'd sort of heard of like, you know, those softwares like RPG Maker and stuff like that, like, or like other ones that are more suited towards like just visual novel, sort of like basic mechanics kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like I think for what we were doing, like we were just like making it up, like just sort of trying to do like a classic point and click. But there really is no like format. Like we didn't like follow like a classic format. Like the text, for example, like is like just sort of in like a comic bubble. Which was really it worked for that game because it's small, but now like us as we're working on our next game that's a lot bigger, we decided to ditch that because it's so complicated to like have this like random bubble and then you have more than one character and like it has to like look good like in the scene, like it can't be covering like something important, you know. So like we kind of just did it like that. I don't know.
No, that makes sense because sorry.
No, yeah, like I just sort of designed everything sort of around the UI, which is not typically how you do it. I guess like usually UI is something that's like important and it's you make the game around the UI, you know? Like you anticipate the UI. Whereas like I didn't do that because I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
Yeah, but it hits good. You know, it hits like interestingly. Like I say, like I'm a true art critic. It hits good. But I was playing. I felt like you sort of like you felt it out, and I think that struck me where I was like, this feels like you really were working like with the tools that you had, like in a good way, and it was very unique in like the format. I don't know. I think it worked well with it. So
that's cool to hear. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know, I am a big fan of those more like limited engines because they make a lot of the choices for you, which is like a good thing to restrict you sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of being like, okay, well, and also it's like if you want to make an RPG, I got good news for you. RPG Maker, good for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like
the only thing like I totally agree, like it is so good to have like limitations, you know, or like a framework. But then another thing is like you're dealing with the fact that you can tell that something's made in RPG Maker or whatever.
Yes.
And then I think people like players will just judge it based on that because they've played other RPG games that maybe RPG Maker games that they like didn't like or whatever, like, you know, so then there is that, you know, where people are like all of a sudden you're like pegged as like an RPG Maker game, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder.
It's interesting how.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, you go.
No.
Sorry. I like to. Yeah. No, I was just gonna say like, it's interesting how that has like a cultural like reach now, like the RPG Maker game. I think you're right to say that. You know, like it's a whole genre, quote unquote, now, but it didn't used to be.
I am interested to find like I have a big what's it called I use a tablet for events that has like little filters, so people are like, oh, I'm looking for like this kind of game, so that people can like try to navigate 750 games to find what they're looking for maybe. And I have genre tags for both RPG and RPG Maker, because RPG Maker does not necessarily mean it has RPG, like you fight or anything in it.
Yeah.
The classic of Yume Nikki,
Yeah. It's such a wide range of things, actually.
And I am hopeful, kind of like what I was talking with Alex, of just like it's partially like a time thing, and seeing the culture shift. I wonder if people will see RPG Maker and they'll be able to like, oh, this is RPG Maker 98. They'll be able to pick it out as in the same way that real like audio files are like, oh no, this is this kind. Oh, this person using this kind of keyboard,
Yeah. That's a beautiful thought, I think.
Right. They're like, oh, the real film cinephiles, like, oh, you can clearly tell these are shot in this kind of camera. And like, someone's like, oh, this is definitely RPG Maker 2003, I can really tell.
Yeah, Unity 2012, like,
right.
Let's go.
Right. They're just like, it becomes, there's less there's the qualitative metric that they bring to it, but it becomes less, there's less like inherent qualitative stuff they bring to that assumption. Because I think a lot of people are getting over the idea that games need to be made from scratch, if you're making a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
you feel like you made yours from scratch, Greta? Or do you feel like it was like with established things?
Well,
I never have made a game. So.
Sorry. What was
no,
that?
sorry, go. Go on.
I think your mic kind of cut out at the end.
Oh, no, it's good.
We were using Construct 3. Do you know that?
No, actually.
Engine?
I am, yes. Oh, I know Construct
2. He knows.
Construct 2, yeah. So
I imagine it's
Construct
the same.
3, Construct 3 is like, it's a paid version. It's a lot like more better.
Okay.
It's a lot more better than Construct 2. But yeah, but it's visual based, like that's sort of the main thing. People use it for visual based scripting.
Cool.
Programming, whatever.
Yeah.
So we were doing it all in that. And so we were kind of just making it up, and like we had to do a lot of like refactoring and stuff, but we're still using Construct 3 for the one that we're working on now. And we are using like JavaScript with it too. Like you can use coding languages with it.
Yeah.
So it's really versatile, but yeah, like we didn't really have any kind of like templates or anything that we were using.
That's sick.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm looking at it.
And,
I'm curious though, like to kind of get into that a little bit, because like I'm kind of feeling like I want to sort of focus more on smaller scale stuff and like just seeing what I can kind of get by with on my own, like
right.
See if, because when you're working with a programmer, it's like you kind of like you're sharing the responsibility, like it's two people, but anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this.
No, that's real because
you have to you have to work on like.
I want to know what the real solo devs, like how they feel,
Right. Because it's like how you are working with someone, and like you can't to be like, oh, just try this thing, and sometimes you be like, oh, do I want to just keep telling them, like giving them more and more work to do?
Yeah. Yeah, like that's the thing is like kind of wanting to experiment a little bit.
Right.
And if something doesn't work out, it's fine. It's on
Right.
me, you know.
Which I can imagine feels a lot worse if it's you asked someone else to do it and they tried it and it didn't quite work out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's probably harder to explore, I feel like, or like mess around.
yes.
I mean, we work well together, so it's like we
Yeah.
try stuff all the time. Like that's kind of the thing that's good about like there's so many pros to working with people, and then there's also so many pros to working alone.
Yes.
I think it's
Yeah.
like important to have a mix of both.
Yes. No,
Like that's kind of what I'm feeling.
I can do a lot of what I do because I work alone, so I just work at my own pace, which is often fast. But I think half of the things I think about, like, man, what am I missing? What do these people have that I'm missing? Like, having a second person
Yeah.
adds so much.
Yeah.
Not even like necessarily to workload, but to just like the culture of doing something. Like, I think it's easier to feel good about something when it's not just you working on it.
Yeah. That's like the number one thing is like moral support.
Yes.
Like you can both kind of like be there for each other, like say like, you know, oh, you did a good job on this, like good job, you know.
Right.
We don't do that with ourselves like ever. It's always just like you need to be better, like this good enough? Like you don't really get that like social thing.
And you also like have the benefit. I think it's harder to be hard on what you're doing because it feels more like you're being hard on the other person, and you're like, well, I don't want. They're doing a good job.
Yeah.
That was
It's true.
That was a long thing for me to get past of being like, oh well, you know, it's even if I dislike, you know, if I have, you know, this internalized self-loathing that I don't know how to get rid of. There's also, you know, my project's fundamentally 700 people's other work, you know? They're like, oh, their work is good.
Right.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
Well,
in like... Sorry, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I think it's such an important job that you're doing.
Well,
too, like...
I will.
You know, that's all I'm saying.
Thank you. I will... as I want to do, take compliments and go and toss them. I do, because I think I do. It's the weird thing I realized sort of towards this year, where it was like, man, if someone else was doing this thing, I love it. I would never shut up about it.
Yeah.
But because
that's a good sign.
Because it's me, you know, I think a lot of people probably feel this way about their own work, is it can feel arrogant to like your own work, you know?
Definitely.
Where you need to be like, well, all qualitative statements about this have to come from somebody else. Of course I like it because I'm me. I'm the person who made it.
Right.
But also, what if it's good to just like your own stuff? In the same way, it's like freaking companies spend millions of dollars telling us about how good their stuff is.
Yeah.
No, it's true. I think we need to all love our own art, and I think it's interesting in illustration and animation too. I feel like stuff kind of lives in a vacuum in that way, and I'm sure it feels that way when you work on anything alone. You know, where like you don't know what people think, and even, you know, I feel like sometimes like I'm like, I don't even know like if people like this, but it's like I guess they do, you know.
Right.
And so I think the collaboration is definitely nice to have people give feedback.
And sometimes it's like, you know, it's an audience thing, you know.
Oh yeah.
Right, you make like the greatest illustration you've ever made in your life, but because it's an original character, you're like, it gets, you know, 1% of whatever a popular character that same illustration would get.
Oh, it's true. It's harder to make your own. Like, I feel like with illustration, since it's just a singular image, like when you make fan art, it's like you're riffing off of something that people know really intimately,
right?
You know, that already exists, which is why I think like games and indie games are cool, because I feel like lately I've been thinking like people really love stories and they really want something that they actually think about. Like a singular image is not as powerful as like a whole experience, and so I don't know. I think it makes sense that people would think more about something that they experience for like many hours, you know,
right?
As opposed to an image.
And it's easier to like convey that idea. There's like, you know, the classic, what's their, you know, that little like 2-panel Linda Barry comic that I think about all the time.
Which one?
The one where like they're looking at the painting and they're like, I don't get it, and then they mirror the painting.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that one. That one's. I mean, it's a 2-panel story. I don't know, but it hits really hard.
Right.
Yeah.
And it tells a greater story of like how we like. Oh, it's technically 4 panels, but you know, the text.
Okay.
The text
thing, obviously.
The text panels, then the mirroring panel. Like.
Oh, okay.
Of like, you know, how we. Thank you, r/wholesome.
They would post that, I guess.
I guess you take a source where you can get it, but but
from the people.
Yes, you know, I can just save this and put this on the stream that I'm talking about because I think it is like I think about it a lot because it's a good encapsulation of like art that doesn't immediately say something and like how we engage with it. Because it is harder, like, even if I think, like, in a lot of, you know, I'm looking at your illustrations, you can see stories baked within these illustrations, but they're, like, they're harder to say, you know?
Yeah.
They're harder to...
Yeah, I mean, it's...
I feel like what you guys are saying about, like, illustrations, like, the thing that, to me, like, it's kind of unfortunate, I just feel like we're so bombarded with images all the time.
Right.
And we have been since, like, you know, the... late 19th century or the like I don't know 50s or like whenever like advertising started popping off or whatever. But like there is something so beautiful about just like an image too. Like lately I've kind of been thinking more about like art forms that are like take less time to make. And there's something valuable about that too. Not that like digital art takes less time than, you know, whatever, but
it can though.
There's something valuable about that too, I feel like, in I don't know, like this like world like where like things are sort of precarious, like environmentally, like like I feel that way about music sometimes, like when I open like Ableton or something and I'm looking at a project that has like, you know, 800 tracks or whatever, and I'm like, oh my god, like what happens if like my house burns down in like a forest fire or something, like a grass fire or something, like and then, you know, I don't know how to write a song because I can't use my Ableton, you know. So there's something like about like mediums like that are just like quick that I feel like are still so important, even though right now they might kind of be in sort of like a weird moment in history, like in terms of what our capacity is, you know, like
no, I think that's real. I mean, do you mean like physical mediums that are quicker or just anything that's quicker? Like what's an example?
Yeah, I think both, like well, like I mean digital is physical too, like if you can draw a digital,
I guess that's true. Yeah, I guess that's true. Physical. Right.
But like yeah, I don't know. Does that make sense? What I was saying?
I think I get what you're. Yes. Like the benefit to just having like made something, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yes, on the screen. I popped onto the screen that comic I was talking about.
Yeah.
So that people knew what I was talking about.
In the chat. I can't see it because I'm blocked with an ad right now. Yes. But I want to look at it.
Yeah, I also had an ad.
Oh, right. I tried. The weird thing with Twitch is you literally can't turn off ads.
Oh yeah, it just does it.
Right. Like I've minimized them as much as I can, but you literally cannot turn off ads.
Okay, wait. I'm looking at it now. I've got it.
Perfect.
I think I've seen this before. Yeah. I'm not sure.
You know, but speaking of things that are also made in probably like how long did this take to make? Probably like 20 minutes maybe.
Oh yeah, I mean,
just understand.
Yeah,
I don't. I do. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, like it's so powerful because it's just like I don't know, like
because also
it's very narrative focused.
Human.
Right. And like fine art, especially, is a thing I think we have trouble like engaging with sometimes. and
Yeah,
understand.
I think that's people's least fave. Yeah.
Yeah, or just like stuff that is like more like illustrations. I think a lot of times fall under the same category of like they're just not things that don't explain themselves immediately. People have trouble with something that doesn't explain itself immediately.
That's
Yeah.
actually true. Yeah. But that's the most interesting stuff. I wish more people would go to the fucking museums. I'm like,
Yes.
like pushing up my glasses and like, go look at some art at the museum, you know?
That's why I recently went to yes, you can
Yes.
you can put any panels from Blue Period and it'll already explain away why we can be art.
Yes.
I fucking
Fuck yes.
I love Blue Period so goddamn much.
Oh my God, really?
Yes.
I love Blue Period. Do you okay. Do you have a favorite character?
I
Even though it's not
Like
not inclusive.
Picasso? What are
no, so
It's like this manga you should read. You should read.
yes.
What is it?
It is named after Picasso's Blue Period, but it's like
okay.
it's a modern ongoing manga about a kid who's kind of like on the fringe. He doesn't know what he wants to do, but then he gets into making art. And it's funny because he tries to be like a manga protagonist sometimes, but it doesn't work because it's about art, and art doesn't work like that. But
Yeah, but it's very profound and like I don't know. I feel like every time something new happens, it's more nuanced stuff about being an artist. I don't know. It's a lot about like going to art school, but also just being an artist in like the modern world. I don't know. It's really good, and the art is beautiful.
Yeah, and like the person, they probably I don't know if they're reaching out to people. They just also know a bunch of fine artists, but it's like you get they're using a bunch of people's art and like linking like here's a bunch of cool fine artists. Navigates between fine art and commercial art, and like a thing that was recently in one of the English like I think the most recent volume that came out in English is like one of the teachers is saying something to the effect of like one of the downsides about like art in our modern culture is that it depends on you being like working in art depends on you being popular, but art being effective isn't the same. Like those like the idea that art needs to be popular is like incongruous with like art being good.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's
It's
really
always a
interesting. The
balance.
effectiveness. Yeah, it's a balance.
The balance is the tricky part.
Right, because it's like you can make really great art, but doesn't mean anybody wants to buy it. Like so, you have to make if you want to live in art, you have to be popular, and that's like the curse of the artist.
That's the same with music and everything. Yeah.
Right. Right, the kind of like generalness of like how much art is like dependent on popularity.
Yeah.
Have
yeah.
you guys- Oh, sorry.
You go on.
Have you guys heard of the book? It's called What Art Does by Brian Eno. Do you guys know Brian Eno?
Yeah,
I've heard of this.
I'm not the book, but I love Brian.
It's sort of new. I think it came out last year.
Okay.
But I got it. And it's so
Cool.
good. I think that everyone needs to read this book. It's not long. It's illustrated. And it's just basically like talking about art in like a way that's like functional. How like we use art to live, like how it's sort of like an essential part of life, and it's not just like this thing that's like the cherry on top or like the dessert to the meal. Like it's like no, this is like a foundational part of like being human and existing,
Yeah.
which is so like important and something that I feel like is only sort of recently, I feel like more recently people are realizing that, or maybe it's just me, I don't know. Like, well, obviously it's not just me.
Right. But like no, but human, it's human. We've made art since as long as we can make art.
Yeah. And it's not something that's like just for fun. It's really not. Like it's something that we use to like navigate our emotions and our social situation.
Yes.
And our weird, giant brains that like need all this stimulus to like be normal,
Yeah, no, I've
Totally.
like my lowercase a definition of art is basically everything's art, who cares? But my capital A, if we talk about like art, proper noun, I think of it of like the stuff that we make to like convey idea. Like art is like a language that we use to talk to each other in ways that our languages as we made them can't. Like
yeah.
Like we can convey things with art that even we don't understand about ourselves. And
it's true.
And that we could like never vocalize in any way. But
okay, because there's this one part in this book that he talks about. Okay, so the quote is like, oh, my computer just went to sleep. What just happened? Well,
we can still hear you.
We're still here. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like playing is how kids learn, right? Like they learn through play. Yes. And so art is like how adults play. So therefore we learn through art.
Yes. Like
that's true.
Like someone can make a piece of art, someone can experience it. Neither person can explain what it is, but both people can fully understand it.
Yeah.
And that
it's a language.
And that's why, I get all passionate about art, But
no, it's real.
It's it's why I get burned on like the commoditization of art, and how like, whoops, I accidentally pinned something. I didn't know you could do that.
in the Twitch?
Yes.
Oh, that's a powerful quote. I love that.
Yes, I accidentally pinned. That's a powerful quote. making that quote a powerful quote.
I like that.
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that. I was just like flipping around.
I didn't know either.
Because speaking of like Greta, when we were talking about like the charm of lo-fi, people's trying to find that lo-fi music. That's another like a classic of Brian Eno quotes of like the thing that people like. To paraphrase it poorly, the thing that people like about art is like the shitty parts of it.
Because that's the parts that are human.
Yeah. So like once
that's the parts that we see ourselves. Okay, never mind.
Like once technology cleans up all these rough edges, people will go back and be like, "Wait, I want the rough edges back."
Yeah.
No, exactly.
And it's why to bring it up to come up to it forever as every artist conversation does. It's why AI just doesn't work. It's why it won't work.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, it's just never gonna. I always feel like it's never gonna win in terms of art because people care about the person.
Right.
Like I don't know. I wouldn't care if I didn't see the person behind it, even if it was like, even if they could replicate the rough edges. I don't think that I would care
because it'll still like always lack like intention.
Yeah, it's about intention.
Well, if you're talking about art as like a language and a way to communicate, like it's like, well, what's the point of communicating to something that's not really in the
there's no meaning
field or whatever, like in the field of the human consciousness or whatever.
Right. I think that can't have unconscious bias because it has no unconscious or conscious.
It's true.
It is. I mean, it's the also much fortunate they're just going to still use. That's not going to stop people from using it to replace a bunch of artist jobs.
Which like I feel like is just like a stupid endeavor. I feel like they're all gonna go back and be like, "Hey, we didn't actually want this," but who knows? Maybe that's wishful thinking.
Right. Like the hope is that eventually people are like, "Oh, well, I'll just make an artist to do this," and then eventually people will get so genericized to like, "Well, there's someone who wants an original style to their art," and then suddenly we find our way crawling back to the artist.
Yes, and then I'll finally win. Yeah.
Yes, like, oh, you want an original looking thing because your art, because everyone just like makes fun of your art because it all looks the same now.
Well, that's so funny. Yeah.
I wonder where the
illustrator becomes niche.
Yes. And also, just generally artists are like, this sucks, and they're just gonna ideally double down on supporting each other.
It's true. I feel like people are more passionate now because of that, like about supporting people.
Because that is like what, in between like the jobs, like what supports artists that are like, small scale, like, other artists, or just like the hobbyist space is what very few people, I think games are there's a lot of like doom and gloom around the collapse of the game industry or whatever. Often,
Yep.
when it's more just like, I think a lot of people are expecting to be able to make a game and that be their full-time job. When like, how many artists are working on their own personal art full time? You know.
Oh yeah, I feel that in animation too, where I think people like the industry's been really fucked up like for
Right.
the past couple years since I graduated college and nobody has a job, right? And it's constant like it's just like animation's over, and I'm like, no, we can still make stuff on our own. Like we've always been making stuff
Right.
of each other and on our own, even though it's like we're not gonna make any fucking money from it, But I think, for me, I'm like, we should always make the art. Like, I'm always going to be making the art, even if I have to have a full-time job on the side or
Right.
whatever. And,
Yeah.
it sucks that capitalism takes that away from us, like being able to just like chill and make our art. But I don't know. That's
Right.
just our burden as artists, I suppose.
Right, that the modern artist is like, well, I guess I have to have Patreon and be posting something every single day to prove that I'm still alive.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And you need to
Yeah.
give me money.
Yeah. It sucks because it's like, we just all just want to make the thing,
Right. At whatever pace you
and be
make
in the
it at.
community. Yeah, I know the pace. I don't know if you guys feel that in games where the pacing is like, it feels like everybody's always like, I want more. Like, it just feels like there's
Yeah.
like, you could always make more.
Right. I think, I feel like indie game, quote unquote, is seen as like, well, here's, Nintendo put out their game, Microsoft put out their game, Sony put out their game, indie games put out their game. When it's like, well, what did the publisher, quote unquote, indie games put out this year? Oh, this person's 7-year, 10-year project is what came out that we all like.
Yeah. No, it always takes like 10 years, it's crazy.
I remember what was the what's the looping space game? The time loop one, the one that has this very similar.
Shit.
The one has a very similar name to another game that just came out. That came out around the same time. That was more like an open.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the name.
The thing is, the only thing that's coming to my brain is No Man's Sky, which is neither of them.
Yeah,
it's a different one. Outer Wilds. That's what it is.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
I remember when Outer Wilds came out, and like people were like, oh yeah, Outer Wilds, and it came out. Let's say it came out in 2022 or whatever. And then I remember seeing like an Indiecade post of like, congratulations to Indiecade Best in Show 2010 Outer Wilds. She's like, oh, right. Because all these huge, like these marquee indie releases we get, most of them, somebody was working on them for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions behind all these things that people don't think about, like, or are not asking of. Like, there was an article recently of like, Blueprints dev says, I spent 80-hour weeks working on this game and I can't go back to that lifestyle. And the question they don't ask is, well, how did this person get 80 hours in the week to work on it?
I know. Well, that's true. And you see that in comics and animation, everything else, I guess, all these artist spaces where like people don't talk about how the people who do overwork themselves usually do have like some like established dowry, I guess.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, especially in the US, I guess other places they get funding,
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I
that's
don't
what I
know.
was gonna say. Like, I'm lucky
Or-
to be in Canada and we have arts funding.
Or a partner,
Which is great.
a partner that does all the like works a real job every week, so that their person can
Right.
so that they can make
Right.
it. That's why I still stand by this bare minimum. Partner should get executive producer credits on all games that they functionally funded.
It's an investor. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, that's true.
The person that allowed you to spend 80 hours every single day, every single week working on something because they went to work and paid and made food for you probably and did all other stuff.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
about that often. You're talking about Stardew Valley?
Oh, I was talking about Stardew Valley is probably one of them. Blueprints is probably one of them as well. Like they're all
They're all like that.
I'm sort of like 90% of these indie success, like these solo indie success stories, are also less solo than you think, but also, spent 8 years.
Yeah. I mean, that shit's hard to make, and like, it doesn't live in a vacuum. Like I think when I was younger, I had this like image of like people making animated short films like in their room and they could just do that for like ever and nobody, there's nothing to bother them and the school would be free and like, everybody would fund you to work on these things. But I don't know. It's harder than I keep waiting for the moment where I'm like, I have infinite time to make art, but it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't work like that, I don't think.
No, you go, wait a minute, I'm still hungry. Uh-oh.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think that makes it, I mean, it's I don't know, low tier romanticism, but I think it makes it kind of more fun that you have to work for it really hard. Because then I feel like with me with art, I don't just make shit that I don't care about. I have to really like think about what I'm gonna make, and what I'm gonna put my time into. So, which is, maybe I'm like, oh yeah, the work is building my character, but it's something that I think about.
It is unfortunate that sometimes their passion does come out from the struggling artist. You're like, it sucks to be a struggling artist, but sucks when it makes good art,
Right? Yeah, it does formulate me, as a person.
Right.
So,
the same thing with like, being the emotionally tragic artist. It sucks when they make good art from their emotional tragedy.
Yeah. It's true. It's about not pushing yourself too far. And like, sometimes I'm like, especially when I was in art school, we would make, animations and everybody would be fucking like dying. I was always like, but we're just making cartoons. Like, it's okay. We don't have to die for this,
Right.
So
we're making a cartoon that we're going to put on Vimeo that our professors and 7 other people will see.
Yeah, it's on Vimeo for 7 people. Yeah. That was the vibe.
Yeah, but that is, I mean, I'm hoping that like more there's just going to be more room for like independent stuff. Like that is, I'm hoping there's a sea change that is coming from like the next like maybe 5-10 years from now. Who knows, but
yeah.
But with
I hope yeah, sorry, go.
No, I was just saying that that was just me anyway saying I hope like more of it, like it just becomes more like there'll be 7 people looking at their Vimeo link or whatever version of that is. 7 more people.
Yeah. Yes, let's get to 14.
Yes, it feels like it's going
along
it's real. With more people making their own websites. Of like more people just want to get out of like the algorithmically fed treadmill of content, and to be and like looking for stuff and like wanting to find stuff.
Yeah, like I miss every single day. I miss like 2013 Tumblr. Even though Tumblr is technically that is like a whole site, but the way that even just on there, like you had your own space. I felt like I had my own space.
Yes.
Online. And I want that to come back.
It's a different era.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like when they took off custom themes, like it went downhill. I mean, everything went downhill at a certain point, but I do think Tumblr was like the community was really strong with artists and like creators back then in a way that formed me as a teen, and we don't have that space really anymore. We have to like create it in like Discord chats.
Right. The world's most impermanent space.
For me. Yeah. No, everything feels so temporary now. I feel like before it was like everybody had one like central blog you could look at, and now everybody's like everywhere all the time,
Yeah.
And everyone is also at the same point, we need eyes on them so that we are creating content, so that in between that I have to take someone's sincere piece of art and see how I can cram it into a SpongeBob meme so that 7 more people will look at it.
Yeah, it's hard. Like it is really noticeable for me when I post something that isn't like the most marketable. Like it's immediately like, yeah, okay, like
right.
It's not gonna make me any money, and you do have to really curate your stupid feed. And it's like I don't want to curate my feed. Like can I just post the art and go? That's like my thing. I want to be big enough someday that I can just like post the art and leave forever.
Right. That's what I was doing for a couple of years. I was like, I'm posting the releases.
Yeah.
I post when the issue comes out. I post about this show, and otherwise you don't see me. You don't hear a peep from me. And then it's annoying when you're rewarded for doing the opposite. I did a reintroduction post of like, yeah, here's this thing. I'm trying to get more into posting about this thing, and then all of a sudden people came out of the woodwork and be like, oh yeah, I like this thing. You should support this thing. It's like, man, it sucks to be rewarded for that,
Yeah. It's true. I am like, I do get a lot of followers from the things that I market myself with. So
Right.
I don't know.
Like, it was even to the
Great.
point where there was a thing where I was going to be also snarky about a thing that, like, a newer thing that was positing itself is like, oh, we're covering alternative games. I was like, bro, I've been around for like 6 years. What about me? I emailed you. You never gonna email me
Yeah, you're
back?
right there.
I emailed you.
But then like two producers from
That's
that
how it feels.
But then like two producers from that thing were like, oh, I love this project. I was like, well, I guess it was good that was snarky, but also where were you? Like,
It is like, where were you?
where were you all this other time? I think every artist at some point wants to have like their sort of like, I think of it as like their Tom Sawyer moment where they fake their own death and want to see, or like, you know, the quote of like, I'm quitting art to see like, okay, well, what would the turn up be when I quit?
Yes. I know what you mean.
And like who?
That's
Right, who really is like, who are all these people that don't say anything that do actually like this thing?
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like people who do like art often don't review and don't say anything at all. And I think about things that I like, and I'm like, oh, I didn't go and comment on that
Yeah.
person's like itch page.
Alex-
I didn't go on Twitter.
That's me.
But
I am that person also.
yeah. I don't know if you feel like, Greta. Do you feel like people? I mean, I don't know. Like it must be interesting getting
try.
reviews on Steam.
I
Right.
try to comment, like, it's a little bit like, well, because I feel like a lot of the internet, like on our, scrolling sites like Instagram or TikTok, it's like people are just so, like, they just lurk, you
Right.
know?
Yes.
And it takes a little bit of like, okay, like, no, like, I should interact with this. And you should, I
Yeah.
try to. I try to catch myself when I'm watching something, when I'm lurking. I'm like, oh, I'm lurking. Like, I should,
Right.
But it's a
Right.
conscious effort.
Yes, my solution for
Yeah.
that has been create an anthology, and then also
Yeah.
create a radio show where you invite those people on for 2 hours to talk about their work and say that you like it.
Yeah.
I think that's
awesome.
great, actually.
That is.
Yeah, I feel like the radio show is cool to talk to people, in a different way.
It's always about the friends that you meet along the way.
Right. Like
That's so
the whole
true.
thing.
I thought about like I don't
So true.
I don't crave to create a community, but I want to create
Ah.
like the sort of like
Your
person.
archive, you're documenting.
The person, like, I want the kind of relationship of like a con friend, the person like we'll say hi to each other at conventions, but
Ah,
we aren't chatting otherwise.
Yeah.
I like that.
Right. Yeah.
That is more of an archivist mentality than I do feel like Indiepocalypse is like an archival work. Like I feel like
Yeah.
people can look back at this library of stuff, in the future.
That
for
is
sure.
part-
So
I
that
mean,
makes sense.
Part of like reaching out to for games like Margot and other games that I just reached out to a couple for the upcoming issue is in part like the developers I reach out to. A lot of them are like archival in mind of like. Let me let me see if I can find this. Oh no, it's how not to dress, I think, but it has a funny little little bit of business in it. I don't know how to find this thing. Man, it was funny. One of the funny things about people were like, Itch, of course, I don't think handled like its payment processing thing perfectly, its adult content thing perfectly. But people were also complaining about things that sucked anyway. It was funny to see people be like, "It takes forever to get payments." I'm like, "Yeah, it always has." Or,
Oh yeah.
I can't find my own game. Like, yeah, Itch's search like sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
It's true.
I've searched for games almost like exactly by their title, and they just do not show up.
They don't come up. Yeah.
In this case, I got
Pretty
the name of the
good
game
website.
wrong, but let me see if I can get it right.
Okay.
Yes, I did. Okay, it did work. Yeah, so, like, for instance, here's one I think about occasionally. It was try to, in parentheses, dress up by Nevetha Cannon. Oh, actually, surprisingly, some of these are actually still up. Oh, what? These are all still up?
Oh.
That's nuts. Maybe
Crazy.
maybe they had cleaned up some of them since I mentioned it.
What are they?
They're articles about the game.
Oh.
Because sometimes I would find I would find games, especially because there was this period in like I think of it as kind of like post indie game the movie, pre like very like commercial indie establishment where people were covering indie games, but there wasn't that same like commercial pipeline of indie games, so they were covering like fringe stuff on like itch, and like they're covering like Twine games and freeware visual novels and dress up games and all these different like more personal experimental games, because they need like I need to cover indie games, video indie games to my like mailbox. So
Yeah.
it's fun to see a lot of those games I've saved from like, you know, a decade ago that have like article write-ups on things, and like the closer I get to present day, the more maybe the people aren't putting them on there, but like the more those like start to dwindle, you know.
Yeah, I guess because there's so many of them, I don't know. I guess people have a different take on them.
Yeah, I think I feel like I lost the thread of what I was trying to say with that, but
I feel like we got somewhere interesting.
yeah. The point was it's also meant to be archival of like,
Oh yeah.
of trying to like, you know, especially like games like, oh, they made good rounds on like blogs and social media and then vanish, you know, because people forget about things immediately.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm trying
They do. I do feel like the attention span thing is a big thing too.
Yeah, like, and I wonder how much people like, you know, as a multi-time participant of this, I wonder, you know, how much do people follow, like how much of a long tail does the Short Box Comics Fair have, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, with Shortbox, I was surprised how many people would find me out of nowhere
Yes.
from that.
Yeah,
You know?
like-
And I've had people say, actually, I had a couple people email me after Indiepocalypse and be like, "Oh, do you want to work on my game as an illustrator?"
Oh, wow.
From that, you know, which I was like, "Whoa, I didn't know that y'all were looking like so hard, you know, at the cover." You know,
Nor did I know that people were doing that. In this history, I had one person ask for one person's email for a cover.
Oh.
I guess people wouldn't need to go through me if you just have an email on your website. You know,
That's true. They probably just stalked my website.
yeah.
Which I was like, I don't know if I can do these unpaid things right now.
Yes.
But I was like very flattered that people would even ask me to do that.
Right. Now that is the
You know?
the other thing of like, you know, I am unpaid is trickier. You know, you kind of have to like be in the game for unpaid work.
Yeah, like I feel like I do too much unpaid work, honestly.
Yes.
When the project is something that I like, or if it's like a friend and I respect them, I like doing
Right.
that sort of thing.
Unpaid work
but I
for
know
strangers.
a lot of people don't. Yeah, for strangers, and I don't even know what your game is, or like I don't vibe with it. Like I'm not gonna do it. I'm sorry, but
Yes.
like and sometimes it's just like I'm too busy and I don't have any money, like, you know, and I can't be spending all my time working on that. But
Right.
it's like sad because I think in an ideal world, like I can just, you know, make random shit for everybody or vice
Right.
versa.
Right. You know, if we all had, you know, that universal basic income, we'd all still work, you know?
Yeah, if we lived in Canada, maybe it'd be a little better. I don't know.
People would
I feel
still
like it really does help, Greta.
people would still be doing stuff.
That's true. People are still be doing stuff.
Oh
Greta
yeah.
I was asking, do you feel like the funding is significant enough that like you're like, yeah, this is awesome, or is it still like a struggle?
It can be, but
Yeah.
no, it's definitely still like a struggle, especially because like everything's leaning more conservative, and like
Yeah,
that means less, you know,
less funding for the
less
arts.
funding.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Uh-huh.
but it's still like it's good. Like
I'm glad it's a little helpful.
Yeah.
yeah, no, definitely.
Do you have to like,
Definitely.
is it like a rigorous like pitching process? Like, are you like, is it really competitive to get stuff like that in Canada?
Yeah.
I'm just like curious.
Well, like I've only applied to like the provincial. So in Canada we have provinces and rather than states.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there's like federal funding, like what's it called? I can't remember the name of the thing, but
It's
so there's
okay.
like federal funding, which I think is more competitive, I'd imagine, than provincial, like provincial organizations. So, but
Okay.
like it is like it's like you have to write something, but it's become a lot more like accessible, I think, throughout the years, because like now you can sort of submit video content too. Like if you don't want to write something and be judged on your writing, you can submit a video essay instead or whatever.
Wow.
So
Okay. Cool.
yeah, so I just think that it's like it's good. I have nothing
Yeah.
to say.
Art.
It's
That's sick.
One thing about it that I think is the most beneficial, like even like up there with the money, is like having to do the process and like write something or explain your project and why it's important. And that's the thing that like was really intimidating at first for me, was like when I was getting into grant writing, I was like, I honestly don't know how to explain why my art is important. So it's a huge process of like trying to figure that out, and it's sort of painful in the beginning, but then once you give it time, like it's like give it time, and then it can be really beautiful. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I think is good about that whole process, like and I think that there should be more stuff like that in the US if there isn't.
Yeah, even when
It's okay.
And I've had to occasionally do like write recommendations for people for like arts grants that they wanted to get, and like when I need to like justify why my word is valuable,
Yeah.
Even that is like, oh, I feel better with this project because I have to like justify to some like arts bureau that like no, you should take my words, like I'm a worthy person for you to listen to give as a source for giving this person money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I do think that makes your work more powerful, like when you have to justify it and think about it, because you can frame any work as important, I think. So it's just like a reminder of what you're doing and why you're doing it,
Right. And
yeah.
I was thinking about this during like what was it? I think it was the Game Awards. I was like I had a moment where I thought about the Game Awards. I'm like, why are the Game Awards important? Like, why does anyone care about them?
And they're not.
And the conclusion I came to is that like they spend a lot of money and insist that they are important, and that's why they're important.
Yes, well, that's true.
Like,
I think the Game Awards are pretty stupid.
Yeah, right. And they like don't even like. I side eye all the. I don't think much about award shows to begin with, but like there's no sense of
fuck all of them.
There is like, I understand the sense of like prestige that comes with like the Oscars, the Academy Awards, like
you can say the Oscars.
I don't want Oscar to get mad at me.
Oh yeah, Mr. Oscar. Yeah, he's watching.
I don't think I've ever watched an Oscars.
That's valid. I think, they're kind of fake, like all award shows.
Yes.
So if you're not interested, but it has the same purpose sort of as the Game Awards, where like, I think people who don't look at movies so much, like they can see what's happening like in a certain space of movies and games, even though I think both of them are very like bought out, you know what I mean? But it's interesting to see what like the capitalist culture is into at the moment, I guess. Like not to sound pretentious, but
the Game Awards are just way more nakedly bought out, where people are just like literally buying trailer spots to put on.
It's kind of insufferable, and it is like, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. AAA games, I don't really understand the space, honestly. Or I don't get it. Y'all have fun.
Games are in a weird spot where we've got I'll put this as politely as possible. There's still too many adults playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
I
know.
we just need fewer adults playing Pokemon, and then we'd be better off. Like,
I agree.
That's pretty base. Yeah, true.
Like I think of it as like, how can we have like a critical medium when like our critical voices who are like our 40-year-olds excited for like to get a Pikachu or whatever.
I know. It's just the beginning.
Yes, and listen, I think people can like all. This is where I remember that I'm online.
Yeah, let people enjoy things.
Yes, and like people can enjoy all things, but it's about a balanced diet.
Yes, yeah, I agree with that.
Like, yes, whatever, like pop music, but challenge yourself occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need to eat your veggies and be like,
right.
Fine, I will watch a Chantal Ackerman movie. Fine.
Yeah.
Though
I mean, I feel that. Yeah. I don't know how you feel, Greta, but I'm like, that's real to me.
Well, yeah, everyone's on their own path in life, you know. Yeah, but I would agree with that. Like, I think that would that mindset benefits me, you know.
Yeah, that's a base way to say that. Also,
and also, you know, sometimes. The longer I do this, the more I feel like we were too mean to hipsters, and we need them back. Was it?
Yeah.
Their real crime. Sure, they were annoying, but their real crime was that they were passionate about art. Is that truly such a crime?
Yeah.
This is true.
Fine. Okay.
I agree with this.
I get it. You like Nutri-Milk Hotel. So do I. It's fine.
No, it's true. Yeah, I don't know. I prefer people are passionate even if they are a little annoying about it.
I will take I'll take some of the little annoyingness if it means someone's passionate about something I haven't heard about.
Mm-hmm.
Or about like not.
I don't really mind.
Not passionate about like the same thing that everyone else is passionate about, like.
Mm-hmm.
Because it feels less like you're like have an opinion because it's so easy to find 30 other people that also have that exact same opinion.
It's true.
Oh, sorry. So I'm so sorry.
No, you go. No, you're fine. I also keep doing that, so it's fine.
What kind of music do you guys listen to? This is not what you're talking about.
I love that.
We're kind of talking about music. You mentioned Neutral Milk Hotel. Oh, I didn't mean to override the conversation.
No, I am all over the place. Good question. I will listen to literal like like anywhere from like just like straight ahead, you know, commercial music to just like ambient field recordings. You know, I'm all over the place.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the same, but then it's interesting because I do really keep up with pop music as like a cultural moment, and like I don't know, I'm very like in the sauce of like Charlie XCX and like Taylor Swift. Like I'll really get in there because I think it's interesting and I do genuinely like it, but I am also like I can't just listen to fucking like I don't know, like Taylor Swift every day either. So I don't know, you know, but I do listen to like literally anything. No, I don't know. What do you listen to, Greta?
Yes.
Well, I guess I'd be like same as you guys, like kind of just a bit of everything. But lately, I feel like I've really been into like just sort of like discovering one artist at a time. Like I'm sort of into like 80s right now a little bit. Like I'm really into like Kenny Loggins right now.
Okay.
And I'm just sort of I'm just kind of like going through like I'll randomly like attach myself to some random like artist, usually just like some white man, like I don't know why, like just some white boy from the 80s, and I'll just like attach myself to them and then be like, what's their deal? And I'll just be obsessed with them, and then my friends are like, why are you listening to like Kenny Loggins?
That's
I love him.
Yeah, because I think it's
powerful.
I think it's also like to give a more real answer. On this show, as long time participant listeners to the show, if they're listeners to the show, I fall into punk music constantly. That's my hole that I land myself into most frequently.
Punk music.
Punk music. Punk. Okay. I want music, or I like my ideal albums are one of the two. They're both an hour long. One of them either has one song or it has 80 songs. That is an ideal album style. I'm like, mwah, love it.
Wow.
You know,
I like a good 10-song album.
No,
frankly.
You know, I mean, I like a
can't
lot
do
of
it.
I like a lot of in between, but it's it's the
Yeah.
idea of like the platonic ideals of music, or like lift your skinny fist like antennas to heaven by Godspeed, or Minutemen's double nickel on the dime, like what else?
Yeah. Okay.
Don't know what either of those are.
I will.
Yeah.
You're doing your Canadian heritage poorly, of course, by not knowing Godspeed, you Black Emperor.
What? Wait, what are they called?
Godspeed, you Black Emperor.
Oh God, I gotta write this down
They-
because I'm
Yeah,
not
it's-
gonna be dropping the ball on my Canadian history.
I believe they're from. Where are they from? I think they're from the more Toronto area. No, they're from
Well, that's
Quebec. They're
barely
from Quebec.
Wow.
Oh, they're from Quebec.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, what are they called?
That's funny.
Godspeed you! Exclamation point Black Emperor.
Oh no, I've heard of them. Okay,
okay.
never mind.
As I was saying on the show constantly, man, if you can see them live, see them live. They're a live experience
Okay.
because they do like a whole like there's someone that's doing like running like video clips. Or is running like projectors the entire time. It's like this audio visual thing. And I saw a show in Providence. I saw a show in Providence where I was behind the projector guy, so I could see he had like. It was cool, so I could see like he had like 3 projectors, and he was like all these like hanging racks of like film reels. They would like feed it in a loop and stuff. So I could
That's
see.
crazy. You were seeing behind the curtain.
Yes, and it was so cool because they just play through.
That's pretty sick.
It's just, I mean,
Yeah, see, I feel like a lot of punk music is like meant to be seen live,
Yes.
which is like different
that too.
than a lot of other music.
Godspeed is post rock, so they were like 20-minute long ambient-ish tracks.
Yes, okay.
Also,
That's fun.
but yeah, no, and of course, no one could see Minutemen. No one could see Minutemen for like 40 years. That guy died a long time ago.
Wow.
But
You get the recordings. Archival.
But anyhow, music. I love music a lot. Big into. Part of the show is just me as an excuse to like play music that trick people into like listening to like Current 93 and Azusa Plane and other stuff. That's how I, like, hey guys, you want to listen to Printhead, or like, anyway, music. I love music a lot.
Yeah, you can live your DJ fantasy.
Yeah, it's
I would also do that.
You're in my car with me, and I'm forcing you to listen to music that I want you to listen to.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I hold people at gunpoint. I'm like, you will listen.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, I loved the music in your game, Greta. I thought it was
thanks.
really like striking. So, are you making new music for the longer game?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I will be
Yeah.
keeping
Yeah.
track. Do you post on socials a lot, Greta? Sorry, I keep asking.
No, go ahead.
I try
questions.
to. I try
Okay.
both. It,
Where do you
like,
post
I
the
was-
most?
Instagram and TikTok.
Okay. And TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay.
But lately TikTok,
Wow.
I don't know, TikTok's kind of weird. I feel bad.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's the thing. Like, I didn't want to abandon TikTok for Instagram, but I was sort of forced. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
know what you mean. I've heard a lot of
engagement on
people.
TikTok now.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people left, and also like the algorithm got weird when they bought it here and like all this stuff. I don't really post video content, so I was not forced. But I don't really like Instagram either, and yet I have to go on there.
Right. That is,
Yeah.
me with every social media website. I do not like it, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm forced to go on there.
yes, that's why I'm glad when they shut down. I'm glad when they just become too annoying to me for me to want to use.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
No, yeah, low key when everybody left Twitter, I was like, I wish we could all just leave Twitter. Like, let's just delete it. Like,
yes.
and I still have to go on there though. Like,
No, yeah, I took to it. I'm like, maybe I just, because it feels like there was an earlier exodus of like games people to Blue Sky. Like,
I feel like there's a scene on there for some reason.
yes, I think it was just like maybe just like influencer people sort of like went there first and kind of like built a culture there first. But it's the same
Yes.
bad website. It's just not run by a shithead, or like not the same kind that we know.
Yes. Yes.
Are you guys on X
Never.
or Blue Sky? Which
I am,
one?
unfortunately, on both.
Yeah.
On both.
But Blue Sky, I feel like, is more normal. X is like, I feel like if you're into like fandom stuff, it's very fast moving and there's a lot of fan art. I mean, my algorithm is only that, right? And I do get the most engagement on there,
Right.
because of like fandom movement, but it is like the worst. Like it's the worst.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
I just remember when Twitter, all of a sudden, everyone had NFTs as their profile photo, and then it just got weird. It just got weirder and weirder.
Yeah.
Well, those were the future.
Yeah, it's
so.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
I haven't been able to like break into Blue Sky. I don't know why.
A lot of
find
people
it,
say
like,
that.
Embarrassing to post because I'm just like, hello,
Yeah.
hello everyone.
You should post.
I mentioned this to somebody on a Mastodon server recently.
Okay, yes.
About like basically I was like, I'm trying to get on social media, but I just don't like them, and because the reason is like the way social media works, it's like, imagine there's like, instead of, you know when you go and you hang out with your friends, you like hang out and stuff and it's fun.
Yeah.
What if instead of that, you all went to the same room and just started yelling things just to nobody in particular, and then hoping that somebody would want to talk to you?
It's true.
Like,
It's not conducive to normal interaction.
no, it's weird, but it also, I think, feels like something like Instagram maybe feels more divorced, like from like social interaction. It feels more like sequestered off. So maybe that's why it feels weirder to post on Blue Sky.
My favorite.
That's true.
Yeah, I feel like with Twitter, it's like you kind of have to get in, or like whatever that format is, like you have to get into this mindset of like typing out like a, whatever, 120 word thing, like, and then all of a sudden your brain just starts generating all these like tweets. It's like Twitter brain.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's really hard to get back in, and then you're like, do I want Twitter brain?
No.
No, it's bad because I'm like, I don't need to tweet random shit about like, oh, I'm gonna go take a poop or whatever.
Yes.
You know, like you get
But
the
then
urge to
sometimes
tweet.
it's funny, and then sometimes it is kind of a creative outlet. You do
It
feel like
is,
you're
but-
expressing yourself a little bit.
No, you are. I do think like social media, you are expressing yourself, but then it's like sometimes there's better ways to do it, and like I don't know. Sometimes you don't have to express yourself.
Yes.
So, maybe I feel like I'm sort of like I want to be more precious about my time and energy, if you will. I don't know, but it is also like people make funny shit on those websites, so that's something. That's art, I guess.
Like that's the thing. It's like it is a place where there is art, and it is a place of communication. Unfortunately, it's like sort of weirdly shaped by capitalism, but everything is, so.
Right.
Yeah.
It is this weird thing that we do have to like create content constantly. So because like we need people, because you need like, what's that theory of like, oh, well, only 10% of whatever. Like if you have 1,000 fans, 10% will like. I remember
yes,
reading forever ago. Like I remember reading someone's like, if we go back in the way old webcomics days, back when they were still called webcomics. I guess people still call them webcomics still, but like,
yeah, sometimes
it was like a different thing. I think in the early
it was a different space
in those early Topatico days.
Yes.
I went there. They used to have an event in like Northampton.
What? There's a physical Topatico?
Yeah, there was a Topaticon. Like,
stop, really?
Yeah. And like, because I'm in Massachusetts, and those guys are all out in like West Hampton or Northampton.
They give that.
And it was like, man, like then they stopped, and I was like, man, that would actually, I wish I was still going, because that would be like probably the best event that I could ever go to, for as like
it's kind of an awesome event. Yeah, right.
Because that is
it is like that era is gone somehow.
It's like but anyway, in that book, because I think I can't remember why. I was just curious about that kind of stuff. But so they said something like, oh, imagine like if you have like 10,000 visitors, imagine 10% of them will buy a T-shirt or whatever. And I don't know how true it holds to, but I always think of that like that 10% number. That
is true.
Of like,
I found that 10% number. I mean, sometimes it's even. I feel like it's usually 1% these days. Maybe that's just my specific ratio, but like on social media it will be like 1%. On TikTok it'll be like 0.1% for me. So that's why I never use it,
Right, because it's like
it's such a waste.
you post something, oh, I put a new comic on itch, you'll get 10% of the people will engage with your post in some way. And then 10% of those people will actually click through. And then and then 10% of those people may actually buy something, which is like 2 people.
Yeah, which like sucks because it's like I'll have a post that really blows up and I'm like, oh yes, my 10 like buys. It's crazy.
Right.
But at least you're getting feedback for the image that you had posted.
Right.
Strange.
It is that's why I think like I've cultivated like a smaller but I think more meaningful like I think those like from my experience like it's better to if you can focus on because I have like not a lot of followers on any social. I have maybe if you put them all together like 8,000 or something.
But that's a lot. It can I think that's a lot and it can be good. I've been thinking about that lately too, where it's like I have peers who have like 100K, but I'm like at least my 10K on Instagram, like I think a lot of them are dedicated as opposed to like they just look at my image and scroll. I think people care, but
through that 8K,
and I think that's the case.
That 8K turns into like 800,000 a month on Patreon. Like not 800,000, $800. My God.
So your Patreon numbers is like, how are you making 800,000 a month? That's
just 800. But like that is like outscaled numbers compared to like the follower counts. I think.
Yeah.
800's really good, actually.
Yeah, that's like it is like.
I think it's great.
An absurd number, relatively speaking, because I'm like, these aren't as meaningful. So I focus more on like trying to find like fewer people, but like people who actually meaningfully care.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's like the whole point is like if you're making stuff that you like, you're putting it out. And you're trying to be like as true to that as possible, like you're gonna attract the people who like like it's like a magnet sort of thing, like and then you're gonna be more bonded to those people because it's like that thing that we were talking about earlier about like having that like human to human thing, and you're gonna remember that because it's an emotional thing,
totally,
as opposed to just like seeing I don't know what opposed to what. But.
Yeah, like whenever you're worried about how many followers you have on social media, just remember you will never have as many followers as something that's like, raccoon a day.
Stupid. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
A couple of comics where it's like like he touches my butt, like in his little face,
Yes, right. You'll never.
You know what I'm saying?
You'll never be
So
that,
like,
no matter what you do.
Yeah. No, I think it's true. I think you just have to like people don't like that advice, where it's like you just have to make shit that you like, but it is true because people will come and see it.
Yeah.
So
and like
there are still real ones.
There is definitely like, and like when it comes to social media, I basically only engage with like game stuff. And let me tell you something, I like more than just games,
Yeah.
But in terms of like who I follow, I basically just follow games people and maybe some art people as they relate to the zine or whatever. But generally, like, I like movies also and music, and like, I enjoy comedy and all sorts of these things. But I support plenty of that stuff through like Patreons or buying albums and stuff. But I just don't talk about them. And I like
you're not on the Blue Sky film scene,
right. And I'm not like, oh yes, I need to make sure I'm following Godspeed You Black Emperor so that they know that I know I just buy the albums and I go to the concert.
And
I think about that kind of person, like because it's so easy to be hunting down like the follower, when I don't think it's that weird a behavior that the way I act is like I'm not unique in that behavior. I don't think.
No, I think a lot of people don't actually care about who they're following. I think also people don't think about that. Like, if people don't really give a fuck, like, I don't really think about every person I'm following all the time. And I also, if I buy a print, that's different than me liking somebody's post,
Most of the time.
Sorry. We know that, like, if we like something, we don't need to follow it.
Yes.
It will just appear again.
Yeah.
That is, like, I think
Exactly.
the very succinct way of putting it, like, well, I know I like this thing. Why do I need to follow it?
Yeah. That's interesting. So what does the follow, like, what is the follow act now? Like, what does it signify?
To me, is like a business card, basically, of like,
right.
It's like, yes, I know you, and you know me. We know each other.
I agree.
Like if so, like, you know, a lot of times developers will follow me, and I'm following back like, yes, I recognize that you are a game developer. I see your work. I recognize it. Hello. Will I follow or repost it? Who knows? Or a lot of times it's very handy. Like I love when someone follows me. Like I'll immediately like, okay, that means I know who I am. I can contact them for like a commission or something.
Yeah. No, I think when I follow other artists too, I always think of it as like this weird like newspaper of like what everybody's doing, which like is annoying because I'd rather just like, you know, see them in person or whatever. But I could just like, you know, I'm like, okay, this guy's making this right now. But it's hard because I'm not going to see everybody all the time.
Right.
And I wish there was a better space for that. But I do think like I just acknowledge they exist and they acknowledge that I exist. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, that is like, you know, I host a show every week and I'll talk to someone for like, 3 hours and then never hear from, maybe, hear them again, maybe never, but.
Yeah. And it was like that in like the 1800s. And so, you know what? Like maybe that's beautiful.
Yeah, they weren't all miserable all the time.
Yeah, they wrote little letters that took like 6 months to arrive. Yeah, you know, it's fine. Yeah. That's what I think about them.
It's fine to take our time and to not be like fully dedicated into everyone else's life,
Mm-hmm.
Casual acquaintances, they're great. I love them.
Yeah. No, we can have fleeting moments, in this world.
Right. So when we see each other at events, we go, "Hey, hello, we've talked," and then we have a mild conversation and maybe see. It's like, yeah. I don't have to explain why I'm unfollowing. You're right. Especially if people put like stock in like whether you don't follow me or why did you unfollow me,
Yeah, I'm like I'm not looking that hard, you know.
Right. That's why the best solution is to follow and then mute.
Yeah, mute is good.
Mute is king.
Mute is king.
But it prevent putting stock, and also like, Blue Sky numbers are especially weird because they have like those starter lists, so that everyone's numbers are like super inflated because of those.
I'm like, when people were doing that, I was like, I don't like this very much, but I was not following the starter packs or whatever, and I think they've fallen off now. But
yes,
yeah,
because those
it's weird because well, people have like 10K, and I'm like, I'm only seeing like 12 people on my feed every day, but you know what I mean? Like nobody's on there as much as they used to be in that beginning era where they're making like 1 billion starter packs. So it's funny.
Right. And those things were definitely just like, it was the perfect, they felt like the perfect encapsulation of social media, like where it's like numbers for the numbers' own sake. Like,
yeah.
Like
it was strange.
It's like, oh, we need to get a lot of followers but to what though? Like those people aren't actually following you; they're following like, X fandom artists. And it's like,
yeah,
rather than like an individual person that they think and care about.
Yeah,
it's so weird how there's like we've developed this like social these like rules, like, okay, I don't know how to explain this.
You're right.
Like there's like a structure, like something, and it's so serious. Like it's like, no, we have to have 15K followers at least because we're a company, like
right.
Yeah.
And like it's embarrassing or something to have not that many followers, like.
It feels like
I think a lot of people they don't like that they don't get engagement on Blue Sky as much as they do on other websites, and there's like the shame that comes around there because it's like
people are so uncomfortable.
I think that's weird.
That.
Yeah, and it's like I think we need to analyze where that comes from.
For a little while, it's not that hard.
No, it's true. Also, you connect with new people who actually like looked at the thing that you posted instead of like finding you in a list of people and like just like scroll. You know what I mean? Like I think that's nice to start from scratch and have people really actually like look at your shit, even if it's just like 10 notes. You know?
It's like how
yeah,
much.
like normalize like not having that many followers and
Yeah, normalize
like,
being
what's
small
wrong
on
with
the internet.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true.
Like how much of it is just like legacy follows at this point? When just no one is asking why does
Yeah.
this person have 20,000 followers when they've been out of
It's
touch
weird.
for like 5 years.
There's a lot of people like that, especially on Instagram, where I think there was this heyday of like Instagram artists in like the mid 2010s where everybody would get like 100K.
Right.
But like now those people are, and they're like, people know their names and stuff still. But I'm like, these people have not made anything in like, 6 years. Like that was significant. And it's kind of funny how they're still like there, I
Right.
don't know, which is fine. But it's like, it's weird that like followers are so important in that way.
Yeah, and it just like calcified like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then you
I don't
occasionally
know.
people will like, get big for a moment, but it's all just like made up numbers that we just invented ways to make ourselves stressed out.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. The anxiety machine, I guess.
Yeah, it's just doing its job well. Thank you, Anxiety Machine, for making me mad that I only got 13.
Numbers? That's so true.
I got 13 hearts on this website, but 50 hearts on the other website.
I know
Numbers
what's
do
happening.
weird things to our brains.
Yeah, and
Do you
luckily,
think so?
maybe that's
That's a
part of the
huge thing in
reason.
the game community. Like that's gaming
You're right.
too.
Ah,
Just like I love to
that
make
makes sense.
my imaginary numbers going up.
Yeah.
That's true. That's like when people are like, I love to play Balatro and I've never played Balatro. And they're like, I just like seeing the numbers go up. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, like that sounds
Like
awesome.
when someone admits that, like it's like okay,
Yeah.
like at least you know
Well,
Yeah,
what's going on.
like the awareness. It's like when people are like, I love gacha because I love gambling. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Like,
No,
you're like,
that-
I know it's just an image.
it's just a JPEG I could download from the wiki, but
Right. And they're always like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, okay, so.
I worked for this. I
What are
worked
we
for my
doing?
JPEG.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, maybe the journey is more important.
I put my hours in the JPEG mine so I could get this horse girl or whatever.
I know. I never understand it, but
It is
know.
yes.
I respect it.
Instagram is to influencer brains. Truthfully.
Seriously.
Whenever I
Yeah.
have to search on Instagram and I have to see that it has videos, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah. I don't like artists lately who make content about being an artist but don't actually make art. Like this is my pretentious take where
Yes.
I'm like, I don't like where it's like this is my cozy vlog of me like on my little keyboard and like I'm making my like store, but like the art that they make is like I don't know, just like kawaii frog stickers, which is like fine, you know what I mean? But it's like it's like their whole brand is that. And I'm like, what
Alex,
is this?
I'm gonna join you on the soapbox, if only because I to take a slight detour on this soapbox. Frogs.
Yeah.
I'm done with cute frogs. Frogs need to be weird little guys. Like,
yeah. I make them a little weirder. I agree with this.
I'm sick of frogs that look too cute. Like
Yeah, let's just be angry about
love
this.
frogs.
they're
Okay, what are the
I don't know.
animals that people love? Frogs?
Yes.
Remember when people were really
Um,
into sloths?
right.
Oh my god. Millennial culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's whenever I think about it, I always think I saw this is a classic like screenshot of a tweet on Instagram or whatever kind of thing, but it was
Uh-huh.
it was some Gen Xer making fun of millennials and they called it Harry Potter house ass shit. And I always think about that
Yeah.
as a term for
I mean that too.
as like a term for that very specific kind of like Arrested Development millennial kind of thing of
Uh-huh.
like grow up a little, I guess.
I do think it's
Millennial
like
optimism.
millennial optimism.
Yes.
I feel like we moved past that in the culture, so it is interesting how some people cling to that artistically. Or
Right.
like, I'll just make forever. I'm like, okay, like I guess that's something.
Yeah, we are 2.5. We're almost 3 hours into the show. We don't have time to approach the concept of coziness.
Yeah, time to unpack everything ever.
Yeah,
we
let's-
will destroy capitalism.
Time to slowly unpack the kind of like what is coziness? What does it mean? Like the aesthetics of.
Yeah, should we
That's
make
something that I
art?
battle with all the time.
Let's break.
I
I'm sure.
hashtag cozy games like on all my posts.
Right.
Have
I think
to.
you get the audience like that, and I respect it.
But I
Because
think
your game is not coming from. Sorry to keep interrupting,
No,
but
no, go
I
ahead.
feel like your game is not like when people make cozy games, when companies make cozy games, that's different than what you're doing, like completely, and
Yes.
it's obvious. So
yes, it's not superficial
Thank you.
cozy.
yeah.
Sometimes
Yes.
it pisses
Yes.
me off. Like I'm like, ugh, like, why would you want to do this like virtual like, something that
Yeah.
you could just do in real life and it would be satisfying, but instead you're sitting at a computer doing it.
I love to
Yeah,
do
I
know, like,
virtual chores
why?
for animals.
No, right? It's like you would do chores in real life for yourself. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is the listen, I
But-
got into hobbies are fun. It was the thing I've been thinking about, like, as I joked about, then threatened and got into, like, what if I just did Gunpla, and then I eventually did.
That's sick.
And it is
I think that's what you got to do.
and it is like, I'm like, oh right, hobbies are like fun, I
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like building this little guy or whatever, and then putting stickers on him. Then I have a little guy.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
And it made me think of, like,
I
a
don't
lot
mean
of
to hate
games are
on
like
this
hobbies.
genre. I don't mean to hate on this genre. I
Yeah.
don't mean to take the conversation there.
I mean to hate on this genre.
Yes.
I'll take the
Indiepocalypse Radio.
verdict. Shoot me.
Indiepocalypse Radio is a hater safe zone. You're allowed to.
Well, like
Thank God.
you're saying that you like hobby sims?
No, I mean, I'm not strictly against them, but maybe what it made me think about is the idea that, if in a way to really annoy people, I'd be like, no, these aren't really like art. These are like hobbies, and like games
Yeah.
games don't have the same language to distinguish the two of like
Oh.
if like
That's kind of crazy.
it is technically like an interactive piece of art, I guess. If you want to get, I'm not here to like gatekeep what art is, what isn't.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in those kind of fights. But if you want to get toe to toe with me in the ring about like capital A art, I'm like, Stardew Valley. That's a 1K knock. That's a one hit knockout. Like, you're not standing a chance bringing Stardew to the table. That's a hobby.
Yeah.
Sure, there's characters.
I think that's interesting.
But like a lot of games fall under like also games are weird, like, chess. Chess is a game, What's the story of chess,
Mm-hmm.
And a lot
I
of
think that's actually a really good way to put it. Because it is just like a different genre of thing where it
Yeah.
is just, you're doing like tasks. Like it's not like, there's other games that are made for other purposes, you know?
Right. They're way further, like one can recognize that, like, Jean Dielman and like whatever Red Hulk movie, I forget which one it was called. We can recognize that those are very different from each other, in terms of like what they're trying to say within filmic language. But they are still like relatively close to each other, much closer than they are compared to like if you took like an art game and compared it to like a hobby game,
Yeah, yeah.
like a Stardew versus like a kind of like I was like, what do I say? Like, here's my brain is all too Indiepocalypse brain
Yeah, right.
of like trying to not to just do self promote, but take Taylor McHugh's He Fucked the Girl Out of Me, for instance, which did a bunch of like trips on like the art circuits, and like went to like film festivals, and those like I guess they both interact with they're both interactable works of creation, but they feel much further away from each other, than like two films do, for instance.
Well, yeah, I feel like all movies are political and all games are political,
Yeah.
but then it's like obviously the hobby game is way less political than, a game like that.
Yes.
And so that's like, it's different. And
Right.
I think that's what people want to try to say, but it's not like equal of an experience to play that versus, a game that was made of a lot of like, I don't know, theory and life experience,
Yeah.
even though Stardew Valley was made of a lot of theory and life experience, I guess, but it's a different purpose.
The theory of
It's hard.
The theory of how do I the life experience of I like Harvest Moon, and the theory of how can I make a game that looks like Harvest Moon.
Which, like, sure, that's an endeavor, but
Harvest Moon
it's not.
slaps.
Harvest Moon.
Yeah.
I played Harvest Moon on
Cool
on
game.
Nintendo DS in
Yes.
2009.
But
That's beautiful.
it is
So-
like
See, there's just like, yeah.
I just think about, we I don't know if the language will ever change,
I think it will. I do think we're at the beginning and people will, I don't know, I do feel like games are still changing and people still think that there's like a format already for games, but
Right.
there's not,
Right.
And like I think it'll expand, and people will have more language for it.
I think of it in terms of like, what's it called? Like, we don't think of all written art as novels,
Exactly. Yeah, and the novel wasn't even a thing until like fucking like 1600 whatever,
Right.
And it's like there was so much writing before then. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, my sister and I always joke, like, like that fucking movie that they made, like the first movie where it's like the train comes into the station
Yeah.
and everybody like screamed in the theater because they thought, like, I feel like that's like Elden Ring is like the equivalent of that to me
Yes.
in games. Like, it's like we're all like, oh my God, like the train is coming into the station, but like, there's still a billion more movies and formats to be made. That's how I
Right.
feel about
Right.
most art right now.
I think games
So,
still
I don't
feel
know.
like extremely young. Like
Yes.
like the medium is very young, but then I think you need like that level of critical, and like, whether it's like through critics or just like other creators also pushing the medium to be like, oh no, there are other things, and that hasn't reached like any, like they sprinkle up every now and then, but you get like maybe one a year,
Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I never actually really thought about it that way. Like,
I try to think. I think one of the best practices one can do in life, and I feel better because I looked up and this was the intent behind the person who made it. So you take the sight and sound, poll. If people are unfamiliar, Sight and Sound is like it's like a British whatever magazine about film or something like that. I think that's what they are. But every 10 years they poll a bunch of artists and they poll a bunch of like directors and critics and say, hey, what are your top 10 movies? And then they turn them into a list, like a ranked list. So that came out in 2022. I think was 2022 is the most recent one, and then and then GQ did the same thing in 2023. And they also call it ranked by experts.
Oh, okay.
But
GQ.
a good practice is to look at these two lists.
What's GQ? Is it?
Yeah, Gentleman's Quarterly, of course.
It's like this like magazine.
Yeah.
Oh.
For guys, gentlemen.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not relevant. It's like a Vogue type of like off-brand thing. I don't know if that makes sense. Go on. Sorry.
No. The good practice is to take those two lists and put them up side by side and go, man, video games are cooked, man. if this is what the experts are saying the best, video games, throw them in the trash, start again.
Stop. Well,
like this, I mean, the list has it is sitting at number 81, but it still has Fortnite on it, And could you imagine what the equivalent of that is? Oh, that's me. That's on my end. That is me disconnecting. Hello, I'm back. I dropped out for a second.
Okay. Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Well, you're fine now.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest. I have to pee so bad.
No, that's fine. I'm gonna start wrapping up soon. We're gonna stay in the wrap up. I was just saying, look at the two. I say this on the show like probably once a month at least. Look at those two lists, look them up side by side, and go, damn, the video game one is Fortnite. That means there's enough people that are considered experts in critical and industry spaces to think Fortnite, who would put Fortnite on their top 10 game list. And I think, damn.
Are you like, yeah, they're just children.
Video games are over.
Okay, so the experts are children in grade 1?
Yeah.
Yeah. Little babies. Like, they love Fortnite. They love Roblox.
Yes. I've never actually done the direct comparison to see, like, on the Sight and Sound poll, what is the 81st top movie they have there. But, like, let's not even pretend that, like, these things are, like, similar, you know.
No.
Like, it's just...
It's like an impossible list.
Right. It is, like, it really hammers home your idea of, oh, yeah, no, we are still getting scared of that train ring at the station.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
So they don't have an 81 because there's a lot of stuff that's like, you know, 85, 78, a lot of stuff that's like, you know, their equivalent votes, you know. But we're talking like, you know, Pro LaFaux, Spirit of the Beehive, Blue Velvet, Santiago, A Brighter Summer Day. Yeah, A Brighter Summer...
It's like, I guess. I don't know.
A Brighter Summer Day and Fortnite are basically the same thing, you know.
Yeah, well, somebody clip that.
Yes. Folks, YouTube, clip that. Brighter Summer Day and Fortnite, the same thing.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. It's like, yeah, that's not the same. Like, this is a weird way to look at shit. And yeah, Fortnite is not as good as many other things, actually. I don't think that's a hot take.
No, it's Fortnite is where art goes to die.
No, it's actually...
You know what's interesting? Okay, when we're talking about this, it's like maybe there's a level of like addiction that's sort of embedded in all of this that's not really as present in like film, maybe.
Yeah, I think
that's true.
We do underestimate like how much games are meant to be like addicting time sink kind of things.
Yeah.
That's
and you can play them forever, and there's no real limit. Like there's only a certain amount of times that you can watch a movie, like unless you're insane. Like
yes, like
unless you're insane.
You can love a portrait. You can love Portrait of a Lady on Fire all you want, but you're not going to watch it 10 times in a day.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. That's interesting.
You're not gonna be like, oh yeah, I came down from that high, just gonna get back up on that horse again. Maybe they'll get together this time. Not.
Yeah.
Right, because because also the thing of they're competitive, so they're just like, yeah, I'm gonna win Fortnite this time or whatever. I'm gonna get that battle royale, that victory royale. It's not like, well, this time she's not gonna go back to her husband or whatever.
Yeah. Very good comparison. I mean, I think movies have a limit of time too, where you can't really. Even Marvel's like, okay, we can only make like this 3.5-hour movie before people like leave and like don't want to do it. But like, you know, Fortnite, like we'll make infinite content for you. You know,
right? Because it is like it's content. It's like a different thing. It is like playing a sport more than it is engaging with a piece of art. You know, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
And
I see the hobby.
Games have a hard time reconciling because they throw all those giant They throw all those things in one giant pile. You know.
Yeah.
Like we don't.
I know FIFA is not the same.
Right, in the same way that as
disco.
A movie is not the same as like a video essay. You know. We go, oh, those are different.
Yeah. I know. I guess there's no limit on video essay time.
Right.
Really.
And we kind of
really what people are capable of.
Right. And we kind of understand that, like, even though these are both recorded audio and sound, or audio and video, we either go, oh, well, they're different things, though. Like,
yeah.
Like, we recognize that intent is different, you know.
That's actually true. That's a good like rebuttal. I don't know, to like people talk about the cozy game, I guess, being the same as all other games. Like the idea of the game as the genre, or it's like game is not a genre.
Right. Like, just, like, the interactivity of it, we get to pigeonhole with, like, anything that's interactive, you know. But we are cresting. This is a long running show at this point. I've been getting my latest eternally long comedy endeavor that I've been getting into, as I'm often want to do, has been the George Lucas Talk Show. And I've learned they have a concept of the Irishman Plus, which is going 1 minute longer than the Irishman, which is 3 hours and 29 minutes long.
Yeah.
And something I want to avoid is the Indiepocalypse version of the George Lucas Talk Show Plus, which is going 1 minute longer than that. Um, and I'm like, no, the show cannot go on for 3 hours and 31 minutes.
I mean, it can.
It can. And that,
seems like it has to pee really bad. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we approach that sometimes.
My 3-hour-long bladder.
Yeah. Like clockwork.
But that said, anything non-promotional either of you need to say before we get to the strictly promotional portion of the show?
No.
Perfect.
Unless Greta, like.
Oh,
Perfect.
I think I've said all I have to say.
Yeah, you've said everything you could ever say, I think.
And probably more. Yes, I've been. Anyway, Alex, hey, what's up? People looking for your stuff. Where can they find your work?
You can look up Alex Seipel anywhere and find me anywhere. It's okay. Everybody says Seipel, so I was like, it's fine.
I rolled the dice. I rolled the dice, and sometimes you roll right, sometimes you roll wrong.
No, I think you were close. Yeah. Most people do not get it right. I'll have you know, so it's okay. Yeah, just look up my name anywhere. You'll find me because it's different on every social. But yeah.
Yes. Perfect. Might I recommend, folks, if you're looking for I'm looking for a quick read, might I recommend Pandora Opened to the Box of Catastrophes that I bought from Anime NYC. And I'm like,
yay.
Hey, this person, I should commission their work.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I did accidentally mute myself for a second. I caught that real quick.
Yeah, I was like, goodbye.
Yes.
No, please read my comic, I guess. Thank you.
Yeah. And folks, I do all these cover artists, reach out to them, but reach out to them to pay them to do something.
Unless your game is really cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
no.
Reach out to them, but reach out to them to pay them to do work. The Indiepocalypse cover art is also basically an advertisement for you to hire these artists at the same time. Mm-hmm. Greta, hello. Work. Where can people find your work if they're looking to find that work?
You can find my work on Steam.
Perfect.
My new game is called Mitch. It's not out yet, but it's it has a Steam page.
Right.
You can watch the trailer. And you can
wishlist it. I did that during the show, as I often want to do during shows. I remind myself to wishlist. I'm barely on Steam, but when I do this show and people have things, I go, oh yeah, I should wishlist those games because that is another part of the horrible machine.
It is. It's a big part of the Steam grind. Yep. Perfect. And then so Steam, and then Margot's on Steam too, and itch.io. But you can also just find me on any social thing except for X is the only thing I don't have, pretty much. Well, okay.
Well, if we start listing every social,
there's a whole bunch of other ones too.
Yeah, if we start listing every social,
I'm on a lot of platforms.
If we start looking for all the ones that you are possibly not on, that's how we get dangerously close to that GLTS plus, which we're trying to avoid here.
Okay. Anyway, it's Ygretz, so YGRETZ.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm cooked. I'm fried.
No, that's
3
fine.
hours is my limit.
I guess I should say Seipel spelled S-I-P-L-E.
Yes.
And Alex spelled how you think you spell it, how you think you usually spell it.
Yeah, the common spelling of Alex. Yes. Let's say.
There are various spellings, but the one you think, dear listener. We're not talking ALECKSS or.
Yes. It's a good one.
ALIX.
Yeah, everyone's like, what's wrong with y'all?
We have two.
Yeah, get the normal name.
Yes, we're.
I have a friend their name is spelled ALIXX.
Wow. See? I mean, that's kind of powerful. You know what?
And frankly, I am. Listen, folks, we're joking around, but when you're online, if you have an online, just it's the version. It's our Ellis Island version of when you go online, you bastardize your good name into the name that people can pronounce.
Yeah, exactly. But you're just Andrew.
Yes, I'm just Andrew. That's all I need to know. I'm Andrew. You can call me Andrew Indiepocalypse, Andrew Pizza Pranks. Both of those have great SEO for me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
if you just type Indiepocalypse into the internet, most of the research results are just me. So
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you thought about that, obviously. Day one.
let's see what
SEO.
I got this is searching on. Let me search for Google where people would actually search, not DuckDuckGo. Let's see. Number 1, me, my website. Number 2, my itch page. Number 3,
Yeah, fuck yeah.
GameDeveloper.com, the 5 Myths of the Indiepocalypse, an embarrassing article from probably 10 years ago that's like, can there be too many video games? The answer is no. That's a silly idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it's you know, an individual issue, my website again, another issue, my website again, my Patreon. I'm just folks, if you're looking
That's the same with me.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I have like
you.
a weird name that everything comes up when you search that.
That's the dream.
My weird old music articles.
That's how you
I'm gonna search you up right after this.
That's why you name your band Chiverches, you know? That's how you skirt the algorithm.
So true.
So of course, if you just type it in a goddamn thing, but otherwise you can also go to Indiepocalypse.com. It's where you buy it. You know, if you buy Indiepocalypse 74, Greta here will eventually get some money. You're in a new issue, but you will soon learn the beauty of being a past contributor, of getting let's say $6 to $8 US mailed to you through PayPal once a year, give or take. Maybe twice a year.
Yeah, I'll take it.
The drip feed of Indiepocalypse royalties.
Yes.
And hey, I am trying to get better at selling people's covers so that I can drip feed royalties to cover artists as well.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I'm so bad at
I'm like
I have a nice imprint shop up. I'm just so bad at promoting it, but I printed some for events because people were like, "Oh, those are cool. Can I get those covers?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh, weird. Yeah, you could.
But
yeah, I'm like, you don't need to give me the royalties, but if you want, I'll take the $5. So
yeah, no,
don't worry.
Indiepocalypse is all about just filtering money down to there's the old adage of independent art is just trading the same $5 back and forth forever.
Oh, definitely.
And I'm asking, what if we traded $20 back and forth forever?
Yeah.
That
takes
takes
a beautiful world you envision. The inflation.
That takes longer to dwindle away through payment processors or whatever.
That's true. Yeah, PayPal will eat all of that eventually.
Yes, but it takes longer to eat away $20.
Yes, it's true.
And all the money you give to me
just
filters into mice and people and Bandcamp and me just buying people's art anyway.
Yeah. Wow. My $5 is going to Greta.
Yeah, your $5 is going to Greta.
Yeah, let's go.
the money, the money that your cover brings in because people go, oh, cool art. That just turns into me paying another cover artist at some point in the future.
Yeah, I love that.
It's all just
that's how everything should be.
I'll just paint it forward, My big push for 2026 is well, let me just get my of course, indiepocalypse.com/Patreon/submit if you'd like to submit your game /newsletter if you want to sign up to get one newsletter a month that says, hey, Indiepocalypse is out. And / some other stuff if you want to get those things / whatever you think those things would be. My goal for 2026, because I do a pledge drive every 10 issues. So for the 80th issue, my new pitch is, hey, millionaire tech people who just spend a lot of money on failed projects, give Indiepocalypse $1 million because it's a proven failed project. So up front that you're not getting your money back. Just give it to me. What's the difference?
Yeah, they should. I think you get one.
Right.
One chump.
Right. What's the difference really? Between
just give it to Indiepocalypse.
Yeah, and then I would just proliferate them onto a bunch of artists. I am.
Yes.
The greatest, I would say, the summation of Indiepocalypse. My goal is that Tom and Jerry thing where Tom's opening the door and all the other cats are coming in and they're like, the thing I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. I do for some reason.
I'm the one holding the door open. I'm letting all the rabble of rude bedroom devs who shouldn't be in industry spaces. That's my goal, is to be become respected enough.
Yeah, I like that image. I do. I like that.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
The idea that, Indiepocalypse, this is real. We'll pay attention. And I'm like, okay, let's let these weirdo pervert indie devs into these spaces now.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
People just make freak art. Anyhow,
I love it.
I do too. I'm a fan of art, folks.
Good job.
The hope if you get anything from Indiepocalypse that hey, I'm a fan of art.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell
And
yeah.
Alex, Greta, thanks for joining me for this behemoth of a episode. Technically, the recording time is the live time is a GLTS plus. The recording time is less than that, but yes, because we have technically we have the 20-minute pre-show.
Yeah, they don't need to know that. They don't need to know that.
No, and
it's fine. We did it.
The recorded version of that is not it's whatever. Anyhow.
Yeah, whatever.
If you're going to be at PAX, hey, stop by PAX East. I'll be there next weekend.
I would love to.
With the giant booth, I would recommend not flying across the country to just see someone at a table.
Yeah, I guess I'll go to PAX. Yeah.
Yeah, just stop by PAX East. If you're going to PAX East, stop by the Indiepocalypse booth. Buy a bunch of good games. I got a ton of them, like 750.
Do it.
Anyhow, goodbye, everyone.
Good luck to you on your quest.
Oh, I do.
At PAX.
Yeah.
Not that Telltale's out of school, but I do very good at PAX.
Let's go.
I do like.
That's good.
I do like
make that money.
I do like 2K a day, at least.
What? Okay, that's a good con. Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Fuck yes.
I do great. Anyway.
Yay.
Goodbye, everyone.
Okay. Good luck.
See ya.
Yeah. Thank you.